And we're live. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to Roll with Advantage. My name is Joe, and boy, am I happy to be here for session number 55 of the Adventures of the Salamander Coast, titled Boom. Yummy.
What?
Okay, all right, that's what you enjoyed. Get started. Yay.
Prepped adventures find a bomb. What are you doing?
There's a bomb in the middle of the street. Red wire, blue wire. Okay,
There's
all
a
right.
bomb on this bus.
Okay, all right, we're starting. We're back. Hi there, everybody. Okay, so
Yay.
as is tradition here on Roll with Advantage, I have the players do the summaries. Unlike what I said last week, it's not because I'm trying to make them useful and trying to get them to actually do something. It's because they care about me and they care about my mental health and they want to be able to help out in whatever way they can. And I'm very appreciative to them. And this sounds like there's something coming after this, but no, it's just I am genuinely appreciative of what you do for me, which I'm being especially nice now for what may happen this session. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and dive right in. No longer do we need medieval village and stream and nice idyllic country farm music. Instead, we need something a little bit darker. Let's see. Where's the Sicario theme? Anyway, so like I said, the players do the summary. Who's on summary this week?
That would be me.
All right, Ryan. Yeah, with your 2-hour, 2-sentence long summary, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, be fucking useful, Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Morwen doesn't do shit. Anyways. So at the beginning of the session, Morwen, Shima, and Suni all fulfilled their deal with Thrash in order for their continued stay at the furnace to provide a little bit of entertainment, something to fill his pockets with a little bit more coin. They were facing off against a manticore in a magically enclosed area where, well, one of the groups was going to leave alive. Luckily, that was our group of heroes, as they were able to successfully slay the Minotaur, much to the pleasure of the crowd. Along with this, they also informed Thrash that Draven should no longer be patrolling their area, and their deal is continued to move on. Heading out, they decide to go to a little bit of shopping, heading over to a magical store that the twins had heard of. Cecily buys a scroll for herself, but otherwise they just head off after that. Needing some outfits for the ball coming up the next day, they go to the dancing hippogriff.
That's the one.
Yes. Okay. I was like, I know it was hippogriff. I couldn't remember if it was an H word or not.
Mm-hmm.
But they head to the dancing hippogriff where Kalen, Morwen's old flame, still works for his parents there. After a bit of a reunion, Morwen explains their situation, and Kalen takes the sizes and the information that he needs in order to create appropriate outfits for everyone heading to the ball. Afterwards, Morwen stays behind and tells Kalen of the impending danger that could be on Bromsgrove. She gets him to promise that should he not hear from them in 2 days' time, he is to take his parents and also hers and Caracilla's and get them out of the city before all-out war breaks out. With a thanks, she leaves him and goes to rejoin the party.
And that's it. That's where we ended. Sorry, I don't know if you cut out there or if you... Okay, all right.
No, I stopped. That was
Okay.
where it ended.
Okay, yeah. So with that, yes, she does exit the dancing hippogriff and head out to reconvene with the rest of the party. And that is right where we're going to pick up. So go ahead and teleport all of you into the wonderful city of Bromsgrove here. As you re-enter back out into the city streets of Bromsgrove, you are reconfronted by the cacophony of noises that exist on the exterior of this town. The talking people lining the streets, passing each other by, bumping into each other, and the general atmosphere of busyness currently happening out here. It's a bit overwhelming after being in such a well-insulated, volume-controlled building now to re-enter out into the loudness that is Brahmsgrove, but now you are out here. You can see that at this point it is indeed the 12th of Hearthfire, but it is not almost 10 o'clock at night. It is instead... let's see here. 14. Yeah, it's about 2 o'clock. Yeah, there we go. All right. So it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 2:30. So with that, you exit back out into the city streets. And if I am remembering correctly, the only thing you have left to do on this day is go talk to Londor, the sort of beggar king of Brahmsgrove. Is that right?
Yep.
That is correct.
Carousel would also want to swing by Severtoes just to see if anything happened there, following, obviously, previous day's events, but he...
Gotta make sure Felicity's okay.
Amen.
Yeah, that is a good point. We always have to make sure that Felicity is doing okay. Felicity, are you all right now?
I'm pretty okay right now. You know?
Okay, cool. now you make your way back, sort of around these structured, tall, like built into the mountainside almost, where everything's just sort of jutting out of the sides, all these cascading waterfalls. You can see all over the city of Brahmsgrove. It seems like regardless of where you stand, because of the way that the city is built into the mountain, you can see that on top of there being these like dual lighthouses on either side of the massive dock, that ships are constantly coming in and out of the city. There are like hundreds of small little towers that just stand erect on the edges of the cities, like hundreds of fingers just kind of reaching out of the rock and trying to grasp down on the city itself. You can see all these little towers serving as watchtowers or inns or taverns or mages' towers or lighthouses, anything of the sort, guard towers. All of them seemingly serving some type of purpose, watching over the city, seeming that from any one of those towers, provided someone had good enough eyes, they could see pretty much everything. So, you note that, and you continue on your merry way, heading towards the Severed Toes Inn, making your way back around to the, a little, not super shady, but a little bit more shady part of the city where the Severed Toes Inn is located. The cacophony of noises of people working and peddling and selling goods does begin to fade a little bit, as eventually you do make your way back towards the Severed Toes Inn. Coming around, you can see that there are still a collection of scorch marks on the front of the building on the one side. Some of them have been painted and repaired. The glass on the windows have all been replaced. And you can see that for the mid-afternoon day, it seems as though there's a sizable enough lunch crowd in the building right now. As you peek your heads in, doesn't seem like there's any suspicious behavior right off the bat. Is there somebody who's like sort of leading the charge in, making sure that there's no suspicious behavior here?
I'll do it.
Okay, Morwen, make a perception check as you're just sort of peeking your head in before you fully commit to entering.
Yeah, give me one quick second. Come on. Sorry, taking a second to load.
Oh, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Perception. There we go. 4.
Okay. This is one ship-shape joint, man. You are confident. Ain't no baddies in here. Just you and your gang. And a whole bunch of wholesome individuals. Just might as well be the place from SpongeBob in the movie that they go where they're
Goofy Goobers?
the Goofy Goober place. Yep. I was gonna say the Chum Bucket. That's not right. That's not the vibes that are here. Excuse me.
Any one of y'all could have volunteered for that, so take that as you will.
Excuse me while I go to the SpongeBob wiki real quick.
You actually looking this up right now?
Goofy
It's
Goober ice cream party boat. Yep.
It's canon now.
All right.
Yep.
We're clear.
Well, in that case, Carasel's just gonna see if Felicity's in.
Yep. So you can see Felicity. You You can see Felicity up at the bar top right now, kind of serving drinks, sliding them down the bars, sort of shouting out commands to the different waiters and waitresses, other barmaids that are kind of running around, serving drinks, serving food at this sort of spike in lunchtime service. And as you do walk in, she does kind of like side-eye you a little bit and narrow her eyes and just kind of go back to what she's doing. So she looks safe and fine. Definitely not super excited to see you. But, you know, she's not angry either.
Well,
We probably deserve that. That's okay.
yeah, that's fine. We'll take that. But feel bad that she didn't see, but Cressel will go up to her and just, if you've got a moment, mind if we just check in?
Yeah, okay. What?
Well, I just wanted to make sure that there was nothing else that happened after we left. I feel like we did leave quite abruptly.
Yeah, did you happen to call some Children of the Flame to show up here?
Oh, well, I mean, when things go down in the city, it's normally... Did something happen?
Nothing too bad, no, but, listen, I do a lot of business here, as you may well know, and Children of the Flame poking around ain't exactly the best thing for business, especially in this part of town. I mean, like, I get it. You two were different. Like, you and Morwen were both different. But listen, these guys they got coming around, these brown nosers, practically, I mean, they are... To me, they're the reason why people who aren't from Bromsgrove, and even some people in Bromsgrove, call them White Cloaks. I mean, the fact that they needed an answer for everything, they needed to, on top of that, then tried to connect me to all of these different things that have been happening around town with all of these different groups and gangs that have started to get more aggressive, started to do higher gigs, stealing more, taking more. They were trying to connect me all to it because, what, I had a couple of troublemakers in here that were wanted by some gang, and so then now what, I'm the bad guy because what, I run an illegal gambling ring, just like some cards, and then I'm the bad guy, and then I have to pay fines out the at the ass for what?
I will tell you that I can certainly make sure your name's cleared with the Children of the Flame.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And probably keep them away anyways. Well, you don't believe me?
Oh no, I definitely believe you. It's just you know, so what, you're gonna tell him like, oh yeah, and don't worry about the illegal stuff she does. It's all good.
Trust me, I think it's more a matter of character, if anything.
Okay.
I feel like that understanding has to come through.
Okay. Well, fine. I mean, I can't complain too much. There's been a lot of new people coming into the city, like more than usual coming into the city. So, you know, honestly, in preparation for this ball tomorrow night, money's fine now, and I'm sure I can figure out something else to do in the meantime. In fact, there've been a lot of, honestly, the odd thing is there's been a lot of academic types coming around. You know, the robes, the stoles, the you know, the boots, the ones that those smart people wear. I don't know. And I just, they've been coming around. They've been asking questions about things.
What kind of things?
Well, you know, asking where specifically the ball was being held, and I found no problem to tell him that it was in the, you know, in the Tsar's mansion, in his manor, inside his keep. Not like they're getting in, you know. It's held in there. They were asked when, tomorrow night. They were asking, you know, how popular of an event is it? What's the significance of it? This and that and this and that and this and that. So much stuff. They ask their questions, they order a couple of drinks, and then they leave. I don't know, there was this just real smart alecky attitude about him. Like if...
Do you mind maybe giving any description you have of them? I don't know how memorable their faces were.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There were 4 or 5 of them that walked in altogether. Honestly, glasses on most of them, I think. They all carried books. Most of the time, their faces were covered up with the books. Nose were so dug deep down in it. I don't know. I guess.
Catch anything more about them?
Yeah, they were all kind of wearing the same clothes. They all had sort of like this like taupe gray robe thing with a little bit of a pale green trim on it.
Does that kind of like uniform or anything mean anything to Carousel? To like a group or anything?
Anyone in the group? Anybody that is proficient in history can roll.
Let me go in and roll.
Book nerds
Bloody
unite.
hot proficiencies. Can I still make a roll for it?
9.
9.
A natural 20. I'm gonna roll like shit the
I
rest
don't
of
care
this
anymore,
whole
we got that
session.
20.
Yeah, so these are a very specific branch, Bianca. As soon as you hear the description, you spend a lot of your time studying in Belka and then in Summer's Rest on different groups of magically inclined places, thinking that maybe one day, I don't know, maybe magic was your thing and you might travel going to a new place. And you know that these specific robes and trim to them are indicative of the sort of traveling evokers that leave the College of Hearthcrest. So these are people that are specialists in evocation magic, so more destructive magic revolving around pulling energy from other planes and channeling that at a target. These people are, like I said, evokers, and they are specialists in that area of varying quality and degrees. But you could expect, in terms of a meta thing, Bianca would understand that they would be anywhere between 3rd and 7th level spellcasters. So, more powerful than your average, student at the college, but definitely nowhere near professor level.
Gotcha. Bianca will bring that up, just kind of being present for the conversation, even though she wasn't leading it whatsoever. So she'll inform Caracilla of that, and Felicity because she's there, and just kind of leave it at that. So I guess they'd be interested in the ball just because they're around. Probably going to be lots of other people, like-minded people there.
Yep. See, there you go. You got your answer.
Suppose it's true. So nothing else then?
Not to my
Close enough for
knowledge.
the Salamangers are hurt?
Oh, no, none of them came by. That dark elf woman checked out soon after you left. The drow man is still here, though.
Were they together?
I mean,
At least in the same room.
in the same room, no. They checked in around the same time, but I didn't see them interact more than maybe once or twice. The woman walked over by his table, said something to him, and then she went upstairs.
Well, I'm glad that things haven't been that flavor of eventful since.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
It's almost
no
like
more troubles, right?
it's almost like trouble follows people, not stays in places.
Oh, interesting
yeah.
hypothesis at least.
Oh, yeah. Interesting indeed. So, is there anything else you got, or are you just waiting to hang around until another couple of explodey ox guys show up?
Oh, I mean, that's down to your preference now, isn't it?
I'd prefer not to replace another set of windows, so if you could, either order a drink and pay to be here, so next time you bust something up, I have money to pay for it, or if you could, and I say this with all love and respect to both of you and your wonderful compatriots here, get the fuck out, maybe? And I say that with love. I really do.
I'll suddenly feel it. But I don't think we have any other business. I mean, don't suppose you'd be open to it after those words, but I think we might find ourselves with a bit of time. If you would like, I can do a little bit of performance here.
Oh, no.
What?
No. Listen, I know you bring in a fair bit of money for me and for you, but honestly, considering what happened with the window and the furniture, and the support beams and the chandelier. Do you know how expensive those things are?
Don't
No.
typically buy them, so not exactly.
Well, as soon as you get this whole mess figured out and you can promise me that you're not going to lead some type of fucked up devil into my inn, then yeah, sure. You can perform here all you like. But until you can verify that and you can give me some type of proof, I gotta go with what's safe.
I understand that, but can't keep me away forever.
Yeah, like I said, hopefully you're not getting chased by demons for the rest of forever. That would kind of suck, but, you know, I guess we'll see what happens, won't we?
Oh well. But don't believe we have any other business here, right? Just kind of looking back to the rest of y'all.
Yeah, I don't believe so. Thank you so much for your time, Felicity.
Why'd
but
you laugh?
Definitely seems.
Is my name funny to you?
Nope. I just think we've spent enough time here, and she will take Caracella's hand and be like, "Goodbye," and start to leave.
What a weirdo.
We head, I guess. Is that time right? Is it only about like 2, 3?
Yeah, it's about 3 o'clock right now. Well, actually, walking back to the whatchamacallit, to the Severed Toes Inn, it would take it a couple hours. So we're looking more so at 4 or 5 o'clock.
Well, I mean, I imagine there's still a bit more time until we have our next meeting. Not sure if anyone else has anything else they want to do. If not, maybe we could discuss tomorrow.
I think that's a good plan.
I definitely want to hear what Londor has to say before we finalize anything. But if we want to get like some rough idea of what we think should go down and then adjust based off his information, I don't think that's a bad idea. Probably should discuss it at the furnace though, not out in the open.
Oh, no, definitely. We have time anyways.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Get on down to furnace.
Okay. Let me see here.
Why are you lining us up?
We're in a line.
Yeah, you
Crooked
are.
line.
A crooked line.
Cameron, roll a d6.
Oh.
So as all of you are... Okay, cool. Good to know. As all of you make your way out of the Severed Toes Inn, you just continue to make your way back towards the furnace. Now, the furnace is maybe about a 45-minute walk from the Severed Toes Inn. As, like I said, this city is massive. And on top of anything that you're going to... top of any journey that you're going to make, aside from just going vertically, you also have to go, or instead of going just horizontally like you would in any other normal town, you also have some verticality to your journey. So you have to walk up or downstairs or over ramps or over bridges or through city street thoroughfares where you are just in this constant shifting of down and then up and then left and then right and then down and then up and left and right, sort of over and over and over again until eventually you travel for about 30 minutes as the 6 of you are just making your way through the city of Bromsgrove, trying not to be seen by anybody. Just trying to mind your own business, you know? Okay. So, with that... That's not what I meant to do. Sorry, my bad. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Private. Okay, so as you are walking along, just sort of looking around, admiring the beauty of the city, Bianca, you feel a connection be made, a message ring true in your head. Now you can rest. Worry not. For hope is no more. As immediately, Bianca, you feel this pain in your stomach. As there was no sound, no anything, there was just pain. As Bianca, you do see a bullet fly out of your stomach and jam into the stone underneath the ground behind you. As you take 51 points of damage. That's 30 points of piercing damage and 21 points of necrotic damage.
I don't think I get any have necrotic stuff or anything.
I do not think so either.
Holy 51?
51 points of damage, yeah.
I mean, I'm still up, but holy fuck.
Oh, you're still up? Okay.
I'm not looking. I mean, I'm okay. Not good though.
So then your AC is...
I believe it's 16. 16.
Okay.
It should be 16. On D&D Beyond it says 15, but it should be 16.
Okay.
Because I got new armor.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, 16.
Yay.
Gotcha. Okay, so
Dang
that's
it.
that still does hit.
Another one? A fucking another one? Then I might be down after that one. If there's two.
Oh no.
Do we
So
have time to
then,
do anything?
Nope. This is going to be a
Prize round, baby.
So then Bianca, the second attack is 39 points of damage.
Yeah, she's down.
So there is no bang, there's no concussion, there's no boom, so to speak. It is just pain. One shot in your stomach. The bullet flies back and impacts with the ground beneath you. Another one in your shoulder. As it flies out, the blood sort of splattering on the wall. On the people that are walking near you in the street, they just begin to scream and scatter and run as all of the rest of you see Bianca drop onto the ground like a fly. Just immediately collapse. Like I said, you didn't hear any bang. There was no sound. But these are, and I would say most of you would be able to recognize the things that impacted into the ground as bullets from some type of rifle.
I have a question. With Dimension Door, can the other person be unconscious? Because I feel like with the whole willing thing, it kind of... Can you consent when you're unconscious? I don't know.
I'm consenting.
Don't
Yeah.
phrase it like that. Don't
Okay.
phrase it like that.
Yeah. No, in this scenario of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, in this imaginary game that we play, the player is still conscious, and they can consent. The character, it would also consent to this, so we're good. Let's not
Yeah.
speak in generals.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, Carousel, as soon as they can act, she would want to go over to Bianca and just Dimension Door into some kind of alley or some shit that she know would be sheltered and without like too much traffic or
Okay,
anything.
easy
'Cause
enough.
I guess they know the out area really well.
The two of you vanish, disappear into the alleyway, disconnected from the rest of the party. So Bianca and Carasilla are no longer there. As they disappear, as the four of you are left standing there, you look to one another. After that, what are the four of you doing?
I'm turning invisible.
I'm gonna try and. So, looking at the impact, I'm gonna try and center myself in between, like, the horizontal of where it would have gone and get ready to try and deflect a shot.
Okay.
If I can see where the impact is, there's a 75% chance I could probably guess which way it came from.
Yeah, and you can see that, like I said, there are these towers that are all along the sides of the city, but there may be, oh my goodness, that you can just barely see them on the edge of your vision. Thousands and thousands and thousands of feet away. So you immediately turn, and it doesn't seem like they're coming from anywhere else or any other rooftop. Like, the trajectory that you see is from one of those towers. It's from that high up in the air. So you stand there waiting. Suni, Morwin, what are you two doing?
Suni, you go ahead first.
Well, so we're walking down the street, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Suni will, I guess, Misty Step if there's like an alleyway that's like within Misty Step range that he can like pop in there and then just try to take time to conceal himself and hide for the moment.
Okay, yeah. So you tuck yourself into an alleyway. I'll go ahead and have you make a stealth check, and we'll see what happens from there.
Oh, I forgot my tokens there. I can just click my token.
Okay, that it. Oh,
Did that work? Oh, sorry.
that did. No, yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know why it's. I saw that it was a 19, so I'll say that yeah, that was probably pretty good, but it didn't output to the chat, which is weird. Okay. So 19 plus whatever your stealth modifier is, that's pretty good. You tuck away.
Plus 8.
Plus 8. So okay, so 27. So you feel pretty concealed. Okay. So then Suni, what I'll have you do is I'll have you roll a d4.
Yikes. Okay.
Okay. Alrighty. So Morwen, with that, it comes to you finally. What are you doing?
I think because like there's a lot of people around, right? Because like we weren't the only ones outside.
Oh, they're scattering now. There's probably a 15-foot wide empty sphere around you.
Yeah, I mean, still just from habit, I think she'd be yelling instructions like get inside, take cover, get close to walls, trying to make sure that like everyone's okay. And then, much like Suni, I think, and her own advice, I think she's just gonna move behind a wall because seeing 2 shots take out Bianca's, she's got a pretty good amount of HP. Like 2 shots taking her out, that's bad.
Oh, there are the stealth checks. Okay, nice.
Okay.
It's weird. Okay, all right. So yeah, you try to go do the same thing. You tuck around a corner. All right. So you shout. You say that. I would say, and then okay. So all of that happens. So with that, D4 out of 3. Cecily, you hear a voice in your head. Sad, really. That is potent magic. But my eyes see clear. As that is a 32 to hit.
Why are you asking?
I wasn't asking, I was telling.
I wasn't asking.
It just really was a TPK.
Ooh, and that, Cecily, is 48 points of damage.
Okay.
36 piercing, 12 necrotic.
I think I can't, but let me check really quick if I can absorb element on necrotic. I don't think it counts.
Oh, I'm not
Also,
super sure.
Presumably not coming from the direction that I was looking.
It would have been, but I feel like Cecily would have ran away a little bit more. So then, I think I think that for deflect it has to be targeted at you. I think that's the key thing.
Okay.
Well, absorb elements is actually worded somewhat strangely. It says it's a reaction, and it says it captures incoming energy, lessening its effect on you, and you have resistance to the triggering damage type until the start of your next turn. So
all that piercing energy.
yeah, I feel doing it to piercing would be weird.
I guess it's kinetic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always assumed there would be a list here, even though I've had the spell for months.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's odd that it's worded that way.
At the bottom of what I'm reading, it says, which you take when you take acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder.
Oh, it's part of the casting time. That's what it says.
Oh, I see that now. Okay, so it doesn't count.
Okay, yeah.
Okay then.
Yep, damage
Glad we
effect.
sorted
Okay.
that out.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
So 48, so I went from 50 to 2.
Jesus. Okay.
You maintain concentration on invisibility?
I don't know if it matters, but I'll roll.
DC 24.
Let's see what we got. Clicked on the thing. I don't know if it I'll just do it manual. My sheet was not responding.
20. That was
man.
really close.
So close.
So close. Yep. So with that, as the shot fires, impacts with your stomach, the bullet exits out, slamming down into the ground. Sadly, concentration on invisibility and invisibility itself both drop as you immediately shimmer. As I'm assuming, where was Cecily running towards after she cast the spell?
Oh, just a hiding corner of any kind that would be within 30 feet.
Okay, so we'll say that you ran towards the same way that Morwen went, since she committed her entire turn to moving that way. However, it is still 2 shots, Cecily, and since you're still standing there as a second shot, so there's a chance that it could miss. Oh, that might actually. Oh no, never mind. That's still a. Oh god, why do I suck at math? 18. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if
Yeah.
shield would maybe get you the rest of the way.
I don't have that.
Oh, you don't have shield. Okay, all right.
Oh no, it won't.
Okay,
No,
so
I don't have shield.
with that, there is damage. I still don't think it's going to be more than your like hit point maximum. I'll roll it just in case. Definitely
I
not.
bet it'll be more than 2.
Yeah, okay, but it's not more than your hit point maximum, which is what I was concerned about. So that's 39 points of damage, which does knock you unconscious. But more when she falls unconscious right next to you, so you can easily grab her and pull her towards you.
Yeah, instantly.
Okay. Alrighty. So then Suni, Morwen, Cecily, Ashima, as you all are sort of like, Ashima, you still standing in the middle of the thoroughfare, enough people running away. We're going to cut from you 4 to Carasilla and Bianca. As Carasilla and Bianca, for one, Carasilla, you step out of the dimension door and Bianca is unconscious in your arms. What are you doing?
Immediately gonna pump in a cure wounds to her 3rd level. It's 14, but hey. So you back up.
Yep. You're conscious with 14 HP. Mm-hmm.
And no time to check in on people because Jesus fuck, what the fuck.
Yeah, there's not really.
So all the fucking shit we were talking about with sending still stands, yeah, Joe.
With sending, like, talking to people that you're connected to, yes. Like,
Right,
if you cast... Sorry, go ahead. Say your question. I won't cut you off.
So I wouldn't be able to, like, send a message to Dorian or some shit. It would have to be, like, pretty much anyone else in the party.
Correct, yeah. And any message you sent to somebody from your time would be sent to them. So, like, if you tried to message, I don't know, Rose Fisher, it would be sent to Rose Fisher at the time.
Yeah, let me do that right.
Yeah, just as an example. Or Keothi, right? It's sent to Keothi. Well, Keothi's different. It would be sent to Keothi where she's at right now in time, which is weird. Don't get me started.
Yeah,
So you can message the party.
she will message Morwen.
Oh, sorry. I just saw your Discord message.
Yeah. You're good. And she will give just, like, a brief description of where, like, they are, like, you know, just, like, this alley, like, you know, here or whatever. So I imagine that's, like, 5 or so words. Fuck, I don't even know what to say. I should have planned this out.
There was no time to plan. I don't even know what to do. Like,
Exactly. But other than that, she'll just say, stay low. Fucking hope someone notices. But I don't know what else the fuck she would say, so that is it.
Okay.
There's
Alrighty.
so much blood. Oh,
Okay.
Ashley's down. She's been hit twice. We're still under fire here.
Okay.
How was Bianca?
Respond? You know this, you dick.
Okay. Alrighty. So with that, you two do that. Where are you? Are you hunkering down or are you running? What are you doing?
No. Carasilla, like, because I'm gonna be so fucking far from anything that would be absolutely protecting. But sticking very much to alleyways where they know there's no like snipe ability. Carasilla would just take Bianca, start running, and if she can, without like knowingly be out in the open, especially like from the sky like that again, she would head to the furnace, but she'd also be keeping an eye out for any roaming Children of the Flame.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make a we'll say a perception check as you are running, trying to keep an eye, make sure that you have cover from the side of the area of the city where you knew those bullets were coming from. So you're trying to keep cover up on that side. So it's a little bit distracting. So go ahead and make a perception check to see if you spot anybody.
And while she's doing that, and Bianca noticing that she's just taking charge, can I just be like the other eyes watching out for like incoming bullets or somebody coming after us? You know, something like more of the danger.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check as well.
Okay, trying to help her out a little bit.
I get that. Yeah.
Good old 10.
10.
I have pussy road
Nice.
to this shit.
Nice.
Yeah, it was 21 from Carousel, by the way.
Okay, 21 from Carasilla. Okay, got it. So, from Carasilla, as you are sort of looking around, making sure that you're keeping an eye on things, you do spot maybe after 15 minutes of running, as Bianca, you do a good enough job making sure that you don't get shot again, making sure that you do stay in cover. There's a couple times where Carasilla goes to sort of dart off, but you see that there's an opening where you could have been shot at. But so you yank her back a couple of times, so even with your 10, you are contributing. But after about 15 minutes, Carasilla, you do see that there is a group of Children of the Flame that are running in a certain direction towards the screaming people. So you can see that people are headed that way. Like, if there's a crowd of screaming people, the Children of the Flame are...
Have I cut out?
What? No, hello? Hello?
Wait, who can't hear who? I can hear everyone.
Yeah.
I can hear everyone.
I
too.
think Gemma can't hear us.
No! Gemma.
Oh no.
Gemma, are you there?
Gemma.
Okay, all right. So when she
Connection just
comes
died.
back, yeah, we'll
Yeah,
cut
I
back.
missed all of that. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
it's okay. There are Children of the Flame moving towards the screaming people.
Okay, is she able to stop them without, like, getting too far out?
If you want to step out, I'd have you make a stealth check.
Okay, well, first of all, she would shift wave into her uniform just to make it a bit more, you know,
Okay.
I am also someone.
Respect me.
Respect me. But yeah, she'll step out. That's a 9 to the stealth.
Okay. All right. So as you step out to go to speak to the different Children of the Flame, before you can say anything, we're going to pop back to the other 4 real quick. Okay. So to the other 4 of you that are out here, Morwen, Cecily unconscious in your arms, Ashima still standing in the road, Suni off to the other side of the alley. What are the 4 of you doing?
I'm going to, remain in the road, kind of trying to serve as a distraction while everyone else gets out of the way. If anyone is still in the road and in the way, I'll remain. If not, I'll duck back into cover.
Okay. So yeah, there is these like clumps of people that are kind of like trying to pile into alleyways, but they're just like piling on top of each other. So there is still some people in the alleyways, and you can see that down the road a fair bit, maybe a 5-minute run behind you, it does seem like there are people in armor trying to push through to get to where you're at. So you stay right there, just kind of trying to keep an eye out, make sure that you can draw any attention that you might be able to. Okay. Suni Morwen?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever said it last session, but did we take a short rest after fighting the Chimera?
No, you never specified.
Okay. That's really horrible news, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't have too much key, but I'll give it all I got.
How far away are Morwen and Cecily from me?
Probably the thoroughfares are pretty wide, so I'd probably say maybe 60 feet.
Okay.
From
Well,
alleyway to alleyway.
I will, as stealthily as I can, move as far as I can in their direction.
Oh, that's the awkward. You're on the other side of the street.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like the big wide open thoroughfare from where you are. So like to get to them, you would have to like go all the way around until eventually you maybe got to a point where the street curved or where you could cross the thoroughfare safely. But right now there's not, it's like a wide open area to cross from one side to the other.
How far away did you say the Children of the Flame were coming up from?
Maybe a 5-minute jog. It seems like they're trying to push through people right now.
Well, that really stinks, Joe. I guess I'm going to... Can I hold... I don't know if this makes any sense, but my plan is to wait for the Children of the Flame, or like the group that is walking this way, and try to use them as my cover to cross to get over them so I can try to heal Cecily.
That does make sense. Yes, I'll say you can do that.
Okay.
We'll just say that you will hold that until they arrive, which will be after the end of this exchange, depending on what Ashima and Morwen are doing.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. All right. So then, Morwen, what are you doing?
Not knowing Suni's plan, she takes out her greater healing potion and just feeds it to
There you
Cecily.
go.
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and roll the 4d4 plus 4.
Okay. 14.
14. Hey, that's what Bianca got. Okay. 14 to Cecily. Now, Suni, seeing her feed Cecily the potion, does that change your plan at all? Or do you still want to try and wait so that way you can be collective together when you go to run away?
I think that I feel like Suni would think that the best option is for them to scatter, but I also don't know if that's smart. Because I think what he's gonna do is start making his way, and this probably sounds really dumb, but this is his like thief training kicking in when like somebody busts you kind of scatter and meet back up at the hideout.
Yeah.
So he's gonna start making his way stealthily towards the furnace. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, that makes total sense as you begin to make your way away from the group, headed back towards the furnace. Okay. So with that, Bianca is still tucked behind cover, Morwen and Cecily tucked behind cover. The only two people exposing themselves right now would be Ashima and Carasilla. So Carasilla... actually, you know what we'll do? Ashima and Carasilla both roll a d4. That's really funny. Roll a d4 again.
Ah!
Well.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Because the bullet splits, it curves.
Okay, that means one bullet at each of you. All right.
Oh, shit.
It was fated. It was destined to be. So Ashima, the first shot is coming at you as it fires. And where's my d20 at? We'll use re-end dice because these roll infamously low. Or get stuck in the dice tray. Okay, that's still pretty high though because Parito is a crack shot. 23.
That is gonna hit. I'm gonna attempt to reduce the damage as much as possible, but
Okay.
probably not gonna do too much.
Well, that's pretty low roll. Well, never mind. I said it was low, but then okay. I lied. I saw one of the dies and was like, oh, that's low. So that's gonna be, oh Jesus, 46 points of damage. 29 piercing, 17 necrotic. Oh.
Okay. Sorry, music's a little loud. How much did you say on the piercing?
29.
Okay. I'll get a calculator out and do this. What was on the necrotic?
17.
Okay.
Oh, the total was 46. If it reduced it by 16, that you'd take 30.
Okay, cool. I don't know why I thought in my brain I'm just an idiot.
No, you're good. You're good. Because it doesn't... That would make sense that you couldn't reduce elemental damage, but it doesn't specify it in the ability, so
Shit.
whatever.
Because we didn't take a short rest, I'm down.
Oh, shit. Okay, so yeah, you can see Ashima as you are able to sort of catch it and like try to slam it down. It still bursts through part of your staff and part of your hand as you feel just this hole form in your hand as the bullet explodes out of the back. As from the pain and shock, you immediately just sort of drop down limp onto the ground. Carasilla. Oh, shit.
Oh. Is that a nat 20? Why does this feel like it's a nat 20?
It is.
Get Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah.
No.
It's okay, I'll roll up my new character, it's fine.
Oh my god.
The other twin.
I already have my other character, but Joe's gonna hate them, as always.
It's revenge.
Give it to me, Joe.
God, that's so much damage, though.
Just give it to me.
No.
Yeah, you're at full.
Okay.
No.
But it's so much damage.
Tell
I
me
need a
about
calculator. No, I need a calculator to do it.
Oh my god.
So I'll just make a lame party in spite for all our new PCs. I'm playing a human fighter who is avenging his father.
Jesus Christ. Are you joking me right now? This is actually ridiculous. Okay.
What about this?
Oh my god.
Carasilla, you take 94 points of damage.
Holy fuck.
So this might come as a shock, but I am down. I'm not completely dead though yet.
Okay. So yeah, Carasilla, you like peek out to speak to the Children of the Flame. Luckily in full garb, as soon as they see you, they what? And they see the bullet like fly, like scraping past part of your neck, just inches away from death. As when you take enough damage that brings you to your negative maximum hit point, you just instantly die. So it like almost slams right in your neck, cutting into an artery, but it just grazes your neck as you just slowly begin to bleed out, dropping down on the ground. One of the Children of the Flame immediately rushes towards you, and the other three are going to continue to move forward, but the one is going to pump what would be, 15 points of lay on hands into you. So you do come back almost immediately, but you have this gnarly cauterized scar across your throat. From where the bullet like almost hit, and it'll probably heal with time, but it was Carasilla, you are incredibly close to death in that moment, inches away from your skull. So you immediately shock back, and Bianca, you see her drop down. The Children of the Flame pump the healing in, and he sort of stands over. You can see a younger man, maybe in his like 30s, pointed ears, an elf. He says, "What's going on? What's happening?" As the other ones continue to march forward, shields out, not knowing what's happening.
Bianca's gonna come over to that guy and say, we don't know why we're being targeted, but I have friends that I'm worried about too. And she's gonna describe
Okay.
Cecily, Ashima, Suni, and Morwin, and ask him to help us because we're being targeted.
Yes.
To the door. Get to Dorian.
Dorian. Okay. As the other ones are
No,
marked.
it's from Adolski.
Dulski. Okay. Got it. And you see him kind of throw up his shield a little bit, facing towards the others. He says, "I'm going to go get back up. I'm heading back to the light bearer. Be careful." And you can see, there is definitely like these Children of the Flame just going on their afternoon patrol did not think they were going to be exposed to this much danger. As the other three continue to march forward, shields up in a very defensive position. As Carasilla, the man, gets up and he starts running. However, Ashima, so Suni, you already ran off. So with your stealth check of 27, I'm okay with saying that you will just get to the furnace, no problem.
Was I too far away when Ashima went down?
Ooh.
Because if I would have noticed it, I would run back.
Okay. I would say that because everything's happening in an instant, I'd probably say you got maybe 30 feet away with your movement, and then you could see that he went down and used the dash on your, on the last turn to get back. So you were right back where you started. So that means now as we get back to Morwin, Cecily, Ashima, and Suni, Suni, you're right back at the edge of the alleyway, so you could run out to try and get Ashima if you'd like.
That is what I would love to do.
Okay. All right, so with that, you break out of stealth. You immediately run towards Ashima, as the Children of the Flame are approaching. You can see that there may be about 3 of them are about 30 feet away now, marching towards you, sort of keeping eyes up to the air, very reserved positions. So you are able to run out to Ashima. You do get to him.
I will pump in 20 points of lay on hands.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pull out the 3 scales. And I still have no fucking clue what they do, but I think I was told that they could protect me when they're all layered together, and just try to hope that something I can figure out how they work to make them work. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Roll a, I'll say Arcana check on these.
Okay. Big old +2.
Oh wow. Okay,
I don't
that's a
know.
21. It's weird. Yours is like
yeah.
being delayed. Like I can see the dice roll, but then it doesn't pop up in the chat until a few minutes later.
Just got that too.
Yeah.
That was weird.
So
I haven't gotten any dice that have been rolled like today at all, almost. So it's fine.
So with a 21, sort of standing near Ashima, you can see that, like I said, they glow in those sort of different colors. As you what is going on here? Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that I got okay. So you can see that as you begin to fiddle with them, the blue one definitely seems to have this like dull glow to it as you're sort of fiddling with it. You tuck the other 2 away, knowing that if you focus on this one, maybe this one has a bit more protective energy to it. However, with a 21, you can tell that there's something you can do to activate that protective energy. Just in this high stress situation, you're not exactly sure what it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then I guess I'll just take a ready stance. Not that I'm a monk or anything, but
yeah. Okay, all right. So then, Ashima, as you are prone and breathe back to life, Suni standing over you, sort of kneeling over you. What are you doing, Ashima?
I'll pick myself back up and yeah, I'll keep pace with Suni. Again, trying to cover him with yeah, any sort of deflection or anything like that, but
okay.
What am I doing? Yeah, I'll take that potion.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So you have like a greater healing potion?
Yeah, I don't go down again.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, so that means, Ashima, you pop the potion, so go ahead and roll that die. And then did you say you were running off into one of the alleys near Mormon and Cecily?
Yeah, I'll go regroup with them.
Okay. All right, so the 3 of you grouped together, but Suni, you used your movement and action to get down to Ashima and pump in those lay of hands, and Ashima sprung up and ran out, and I mean, can't blame him for that. Oh, look at that.
That's what I wanted him to do.
Look at that. Your Arcana finally popped up.
Oh, nice. I got that one.
Okay. Alrighty. So, Suni, as you're sort of standing there, you look up to where these shots are coming from, and it is so strange as you look up because there is no sound like emanating or echoing off these mountain passageways. It is just the bullets that are flying down. Eventually, the 3 other Children of the Flame do approach near you. So now there's you and 3 of the Children of the Flame for a total of 4 people. One of them was running off by Carasilla and Bianca. Carasilla and Bianca, what are the 2 of you doing?
Honestly, I think we need to just sneak back. Am I on mute?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Because I mean, at least Bianca, there's not much she can do to help. She's more of a hindrance, just because she has no healing. So she'd just be another person to drop. I think we just need to get out of here, especially since Caracella's in such a bad state too. Like, I don't think, realistically.
Yeah.
We
I
just
think
need
the
to
goal
get
is
out.
To just try and get to the furnace, because I feel like that's the
Okay.
best place they can go right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Carasilla does have one more dimension door, so it's just like if there's ever like a strait where they'd have to cross or something where they can't be hidden, she'd just pop it on that. I mean, she'd know the way pretty well. So
Yeah, so go ahead and make your stealth checks with advantage because, like you said, Carasilla does know this very well. Both of you a little bit more dexy, and we'll kind of determine from there if you're required to use one of your dimension doors to get across something if your stealth checks fail.
It's a 17.
17, okay.
21.
21, all right. I'd say those are good enough. You don't need to expend the dimension door. You do panic for a moment, Carasilla, because as you're turning around a corner, you have there's like this deja vu twin moment, since like your brains are connected, where you can see Draven Hunt moving with several Children of the Flame throughout the corridors and hallways in Bromsgrove, and you can see them headed towards that area. Which, for a moment, you're like, ooh, maybe this is a good thing, because that's more Children of the Flame, even though Draven Hunt's a dick. At least he's not a dark friend. But seeing you, maybe Draven Hunt, I don't know, you don't want to deal with that right now. So you immediately peel back, and you and Bianca start sprinting in the opposite direction. And I'd say with the 17 and a 21, you do get safely back to the furnace without having to expend your spell slot. Okay? So with that, comes to Parido again. One of these shots is not coming at any of the party members. One of them is going at the messenger who's trying to run. That is a 31 to hit. And yeah, that Children of the Flame is dead. As Suni, you're just kind of looking around, trying to observe. You can see one man in sort of like plate armor, like running as fast as he can, and you can just see his head explode as brain and bone from his skull explode everywhere as his body just falls over limp onto the ground, dropping dead. You can see the second shot is lining up, and I would like you to roll a d4, Suni, to see if it's Suni that shot or 3 of these people. Okay, it's not Suni. Same roll, 32. It's a 51. Once again, head just explodes off of its shoulders as another Children of the Flame. Actually, that should be with disadvantage because they took the dodge action. Still didn't matter. As the head explodes, drops down onto the ground as another Children of the Flame is just dead in front of you. You can see the other two sort of look to each other. They are shaking in their boots. As Suni, we come to you. What are you doing?
I'm going to turn around and just say run to them, and then I'm going to book it to meet with everybody else.
Okay, so you book it to your... You can see they're scared, and they're going to make some charisma saving throws here. That's, I mean, they're both paladins technically, so they both get like +8 to each other because they're standing near each other, so that's a 26.
Do they get my plus whatever as well?
Yeah, they would.
Jesus.
And then, so that's 19 plus your 4. Yeah, that they both breathe. They both hold up their shields, and as you begin... They both shake their heads no, and they tell you, one of the woman, long red hair, she looks to you and says, "It's our honor to die in service of the light. You run, get out of here. This isn't your fight."
He will just make eye contact and nod, and then...
Yeah, and you can feel your stomach turn a little bit, Suni, because it kind of is. But you do run because you know you can't win this right now. As you run, connect with Ashima, Cecily, Morwen, and yourself, and you can see the other 2 Children of the Flame like sort of lock their shields together and begin to slowly like try and march forward. And what you hear next, Suni, and all of you do, you just hear about 3 more shots and 2 more sets of metal armor clanging to the ground. As you all begin to make your way throughout the alleyways, more when you know this area well enough, you know how to get to the furnace. So what I'd like the 4 of you to do is I'd like each one of you to make a stealth check or an athletics check. Since you all know where you're going, you can either try and do the stealthy or you can just try and sprint.
I mean, I can't do stealth, so...
Damn.
Did my thing roll?
Oh, I think it was a 2, honestly.
Oh, that sucks.
Did you roll it in D&D Beyond or on the character sheet?
On the character sheet.
Okay, I'll just take a second to pop up.
Sorry, I got a 22.
22? Okay, so Morwen, you do just blaze past everybody. You all have been back and forth from the furnace many times. Cecily, with your background feat, you would still be able to navigate the city streets with some ease, as all big cities, all slums are at least kind of similar. This one's just on a really big scale. So Morwen just begins to peel away, running about as fast as she possibly can. But all three of you know that if she would have... Yeah, sure, that's fine, Ashima. I'd say that. But you know that if Morwen were to stay around with you, she would do way more harm than good. Okay. All right. So, oh, wait. Oh, that's weird. What? Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's... Oh, were you trying to roll stealth or athletics, Ashima?
Yeah, sorry. In my brain, I rolled athletics. I'll take the 12. Yeah, so can I, like, bonus action to Step of the Wind dash? So
oh, yeah.
The stealth and then...
That's totally fine. So you and Morwen keep up with each other then. As you're running, using your Step of the Wind, you're able to keep up with Morwen, so that way you're at least traveling in pairs. Running and sprinting about as fast as you can, as Cecily and Suni, you decide to stealth, which only makes sense considering the two of you. So there you go. Buddy system is important.
While we're stealthing, Suni's going to kind of reach into a pouch, and this is going to be kind of weird, but he's going to pull out a little bit of, like, soil and rub it together and, like, wipe it, or, like, rub it almost like, I don't know, church-wise on Cecily's forehead and cast protection from evil and good on her, to give her some sort of protection, because I don't know if we're going to make it very well with our rolls.
Okay. Let me just check. Protection from good and evil. I just want to see. And obviously this might... I'm also just kind of trying to stall to see if your dice roll pops in, because I don't know if it was a 2 or not.
Do you want me to make another one, or...
Oh, no, there it is. Oh. Okay.
God.
Okay, so fiends, and undead. The protection... Disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. Can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them if the target is already charmed. Disadvantage on new saving. Okay, so that means Parida will have disadvantage against any attacks made on Cecily if you two do get discovered. However, Cecily or Ashima and Morwen, you do sprint, and you are just sort of running in between alleyways, and eventually you do get back to the furnace. So that is... Excuse me. That is 4 people successfully back at the furnace. And Cecily and Suni, as you're making your way through, Suni, you have this just twisting feeling in your stomach, as you have not been able to sort of push past the looks that those two individuals gave you before they marched into certain death, as it is just eerie. And you're trying your best to stealth. Cecily seemingly, even though she's has applying pressure to her stomach where she has a gunshot wound currently, she's at least staying quiet, trying her best to lean up against walls whenever she needs a rest. But you are just kind of, at this point, you've stopped crouching or moving slowly. You're just kind of walking as you just get caught in this funk. It's not that you're bad at stealthing, it's just that you're having this sort of trauma response right now. As you are making your way through, Cecily, you move past an alleyway, but Suni, is eventually you kind of stop in the alleyway, and you're just kind of disassociating and zoning out. You can hear a man's voice yell out to you.
You there? Are you all right? We heard gunshots coming from this direction.
As you turn around, you can see a wide, muscular man wearing plate armor of white and gleaming gold, a cloak that looks like it's currently burning away at the embers, and a crown of flame resting atop his head. A fire genasi.
Are you all right?
As he's making his way, and you can see 6 or 7 other children of the flame making their way towards you. As Cecily, you've avoided this, but you can still see it happening.
Does he seem to know who I am?
Make an insight check.
Insight. It's not good.
That's a 14.
Okay.
14
natural roll, and then plus 0.
Yeah.
Plus 0. Okay.
No.
All right. 14. It's odd. There is because correct me if I'm wrong, he maybe saw a little bit of you when you were with Morwen that one time, right?
Yes, that's why I'm asking.
Okay.
Because I No, I didn't point to him, but I like motioned to him to Morwen, and then we took off running.
Yeah. And with a 14, I would say there does seem to be genuine concern, but also there is a look of recognition.
I said, are you all right?
Sunny will put his hands kind of to his head and say, I'm okay. I'm just a little out of it. I think I just need to make my way back home.
Where were the gunshots coming from?
I honestly, I don't remember. It all feels like a blur.
Make a deception check, Sunny. Oh, that's a 2. What's your deception?
It's +7.
+7, so 9.
Why are you lying?
I'm not lying.
You can see the other children of the flame around him start to get closer to you.
I need to go. I don't feel well. And then I'm gonna start trying to push my way out of them and like go into an alley if I can get past them.
As soon as you try and move past them, they do close up around you. So unless you want to try and start sprinting to try and get away from them, but otherwise they're not going to let you pass.
Are we like in the middle of the street, or are we like near like a sidewalk area?
No, you are in an alleyway right now.
Okay. Can I Misty step onto the roof of the building next to us?
That you can, but you will be very exposed on the rooftop.
Shit.
Ooh.
And I'm-
Oh,
Like,
that
right, or
sounds.
do a dragon. What a choice.
Yeah, I have 29 hit points. I don't know if I can risk that, and no one is near me, right?
Cecily is seeing this happen, but it's up to Cecily if she wants to do anything.
Yeah, I won't Misty step towards Sunny, but I will be standing at the ready for him to come towards me. You'll see that she has a spell ready. And I will also ask in this moment, Joe, I know I can concentrate on 2 spells. With... Actually, no, I don't even think... Okay, here's the thing.
Okay,
I can
yes.
concentrate on 2 spells with Tears Circlet.
Correct.
With Greater Invisibility, you can increase the level to make an extra creature invisible, but I don't have 5th level slots, so can I just cast Greater Invisibility twice and make both of us invisible?
That is
And
correct.
Concentrate on both.
You could,
Okay.
yeah. With the circlet, yes, you could.
So,
It's
yeah. All right then. So not to meta. Sunny doesn't know that, I guess, but that is my plan. Is if he gets over here, and she'll have the spell ready.
Do I
just kinda-
see Cecily? I know he was kind of out
You-
of it when she...
I would say you guys know each other well enough that even if she rolls high on stealth, you guys have tells that you know about each other, that you can recognize where she's at. I would say that is, after being friends and allies and like companions for that long, I don't see any problem with that. Mark, unless you have a problem with that.
No, no, that's good. Level
Okay.
8 companionship.
There we go. Awesome.
Shit. Instead of Misty stepping onto the roof, because that was a bad idea, so thank you for meta gaming, because I was gonna do that.
No, Sunny would understand. Yeah, I think Cameron's a little stressed, so it's okay. Sunny's also stressed, but that's not.
Not that stressed.
Yeah, not that stressed.
I guess he's going to Misty step outside of this circle where they've ganged up on them, hopefully behind the backs of most of them.
Yeah.
And then dart into another section of the alley and just try to zigzag my way. And I'm not going to try to meet up with Cecily because I don't want to draw them to her as well.
Okay.
But he's just going to kind of take a really convoluted way back to the furnace now.
Okay, sounds good.
All
So
right, then.
are you going to Misty Step intentionally away from Cecily, but just still in the same direction as the furnace?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you do that. As soon as one of them goes to grab you, as you are like being crushed in their arms, you immediately turn to miss and vanish as he like ends up grabbing himself and falling over a little bit from the change in momentum and weight. As a few others sort of begin grabbing at the mist, and Dravenhunt says, "No, you idiot!"
It's Misty Step. How do you not know this?
And he starts like pulling them out of the way, and he says,
Where'd you go, huh? Where are you?
and you immediately appear 30 feet away around a corner. Cecily, he's disappeared. With your stealth check, you can easily get back to the furnace without them noticing you. Suni, my question to you is, are you trying to outrun them, like outmaneuver with like an acrobatics check, or trying to stealth with a stealth check?
Probably stealthing. I don't think my acrobatics is as good. It might be pretty good though. If I can find it, Jesus. Acrobatics. Yeah, I'm gonna try to outmaneuver them stealth-wise.
Okay, sounds good.
You want me to make a stealth check?
Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Oh, okay.
So that's an
That's
18.
A 10.
Yep, plus 8, right?
Yeah, 10 plus 8.
Okay, so we'll see with their perception checks, because there's a few of them. Nope. 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 Okay. All right.
Hell yeah.
So Suni, you make your way, like running and sprinting throughout the areas as fast and as quiet as you can, as you do eventually see the oh so welcome sight of the furnace in front of you. You don't see any of your other allies or companions out there, but you safely assume that they are inside. And Suni, as soon as you make your way into the building, all of the rest of your allies, as soon as all of you came in seeing the state, the innkeeper would have immediately like ushered you downstairs to the room where all of you had been staying. And Suni does the exact same thing for you. As you get in, there's like an unspoken thing where pretty much like you are ushered down to the fighting pit that has been completely cleared out as you make your way back to the back room where all of you now currently gather. So with that, as all of you are ushered into the room, sort of given whatever bandages or medical supplies you may need aside from health potions, of course, you do get into the room and you get like confirmation from Thrash that as soon as all of you were together, he says,
I want you all to know, whoever did this, they're getting nowhere near here. And they're definitely not getting inside, I promise you that.
And with that, he'll kind of nod and make his way out of your room and leave all of you in there to yourselves. As you sit now out of imminent danger, and you have a moment to breathe. So, with that, that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break as all of you reconvene in the room. You're all alive. And as soon as we come back, we'll figure out what all of you want to do now that things have developed a little bit more. So we'll see. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody, so far. We'll be back in a little bit. And I promise this time I'm not sick and I'm not tired. So we will go for the continued rest of the time.
Yay.
Yay. All righty. Okay. Break time. All right, and we are back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to World Advantage. We are just going to go ahead and dive right back in. I wish, actually, I think that my, mouth is not synced properly to my audio. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's just being weird. Okay, whatever. It's not a big deal. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and... oh, yes, it is. Okay, that's me. It just looks weird on Streamlabs. Okay, thanks, John. I'll perspirate you. All right.
Please don't.
Every time I sweat, like right now, it's just little mini Johns.
That sounds
Ew.
painful.
Go to a doctor.
Nah,
Anyway, seconding
I
that.
can't afford a doctor. What do you mean? I'm a teacher.
Oh, shit, you're in America, yeah.
All right, here we go. The furnace. There we go. Pull everybody to scene. Okay, so with that, we're going to go ahead and dive right back in. So picking up where we left off, our group of adventurers had found themselves in a very, very, very dangerous position. For the past day or so, they have been in the past in Bromsgrove, and for the most part, they have suffered really no negative effects from that. Aside from a sticky situation here or there, things have gone pretty smooth. Investigating, doing what they need to, preparing what they need to prepare for the heist and to prevent the heist of Bromsgrove, right? The entire reason they're here to prevent this heist, to prevent the war from breaking out between Bella Clara and Bromsgrove, thus further destabilization of the Salamander coast. That is not something we want to have happen. Nobody does, except for the Dark One and all the Dark Friends and the 13. Oh, so there's a lot of people that do want that, but the good people don't want that. That's the key. Good people want a stable Salamander, okay? As we all do. As we all should, I guess I should say. So they've come back in time to prevent said heist. Now, they have been doing so in a way where they've been investigating, they've been out and about in the city, collecting information, revisiting old allies, and now that more relaxed cavalier attitude about being in the city and just trying to act like normal people has finally peeled away, as not really an option anymore. As now, recently, what the party was just exposed to was one of the Forsaken, Father Parido. What Carasilla and Morwen would know on top of his shifter blood, his immaculate vision, Father Parido is also considered an excellent shot. Now, it was said that in the days before his shifting to Forsaken, he was a great shot, truly. But distance like that is foul dark magic, is what that is. To give him that impeccable vision and that impeccable firepower at that range, it's dangerous, as all of you now know. Having almost everybody in your party gone unconscious and being brought back, you now have a small taste of how dangerous the Forsaken can be. So whatever thoughts and strategies that revolved around tricking them, maybe not as prevalent as an idea anymore. So you all, with that, collect yourselves. You are able to stealth away and run away from Father Parido and his shots. And you make your way back to the furnace. Back into your private room, where you know you are safe, at least for the most part. So, to tend to your wounds and to discuss your next steps, you all now fade back in from black. And as eventually you do rest and breathe and do what you need to do to recover, you can, Bianca, see that Mimir currently has like a little scrape on his nose from when you like fell over.
Poor baby.
And you can see.
She'll,
Oh, well.
put salves on or bandage it up.
Oh, no, dear. Save those for yourselves. You definitely got the more, the rougher end of the stick there. Well, listen, as far as I'm concerned, I hear that the ladies like scars. So, that's okay. Maybe it make a disembodied head a little bit more attractive.
Whatever you say, if that's what you want.
Well, if we're taking
she'll
offers
turn
on
to
what I
everybody.
want, a neck, some legs, be great.
We'll get that next. Then she'll turn to everybody. Is everyone okay?
Everyone's alive at least, right?
Okay by our standards.
We'll also say I was able to flag down one of the Children of the Flame that was going to see what happened. And so word should hopefully reach Dorian. Mention that it involves us. And we've said that we're at the furnace, right? So everybody can put one and one together. You want to do it together? Yeah, sure.
So, did you message? So sorry. Wait a minute. Were you messaging Morwyn in that moment, or were you trying to message Dorian in that moment?
No. Messaging Morwen.
Okay, all right, that's right, because you can't
Just to, like,
message
update,
Dorian.
Like, yes, we're okay. Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah, okay, that's
No,
what.
but like with the child that they flagged.
Okay, so
One who got his head blown up that we don't know about.
Yeah. it was,
Yeah.
Because like 3 of them were going for because there were a group of 4, right? And 3 of them were continuing on. 1 to stop to heal Carousel, which was like, nah, go to Dorian.
Yeah, he got shot.
That one as well. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
they all did.
Well, somebody will notice the corpses. It's not like it'll take a long.
Right.
for-
Like, it'll be reported, just no one will know as much as we do. But that being said, it going anywhere right now is just, at least above ground, is not an option.
I think if anything, we need to find a way to get messages out. Still, I think it is a good idea for Dorian to know what's happening. I'm sure. Obviously, he's gonna get word of this, but
Well,
The first thing I think we must do is calm ourselves. It seems foolish, but why would they target random members of the Children of the Flame, not simply try to finish us off? Why not send more of the 8?
well, I mean, if anything, if Children of the Flame are getting involved, well, member of the Forsaken is a member of the Forsaken. It's not like the 2 groups get along. I think if there was even an inkling of an idea that they'd get involved with us, involved with Bianca, then better off dead than alive, right? And Prido seems to not lack the ability to make that happen.
No, quite a showman, and that's exactly my point. I think this was meant to scare us.
He was showing off.
It worked.
Precisely why we must maintain a calm mind about this. If the objective was not to kill us, then why?
Well, I think the objective was to kill us. That seemed more than clear. But
Yeah.
if anything, I think he's obviously known that Bianca has heard things that she's not meant to. And then now, especially, if he has an idea that it's involved with the Children of the Flame, that would only make things worse. I suppose if he knew you all went to Dorian, then
Even still.
I suppose it was trying to prevent things from happening. Knowledge that this heist is important. If they were talking about the heist, then that puts that in jeopardy. And then if we were talking to then Dorian, that puts things, well, further still. And so simply eliminating loose threads, people that know things that they shouldn't, that seems reasonable enough. I think if anything now, if it was simply a warning for what? For us to stay off the streets? Perhaps, but at the end of the day, Parido still has his own cover that he needs to maintain. He can't always be out on rooftops shooting people. I think if anything, what we need to do now is to make sure that he has his own engagements that he can't deviate from.
There are other dark friends in the city, yes?
Yes. Probably many a dark friend, but
Were I him,
a couple Forsaken too.
and I knew where we were, I would have had them swarm all of us, and systematically killed us one by one, then kill Dorian. That would be the most efficient thing to do. Simple,
Yes.
really.
I agree with you, Ashima, but they all, like Carasilla said, they all have to maintain face. They all have a persona they're putting on right now. So they have to do it within the confines of that persona, such as mercenary devils shooting us when he finally gets us in view, when he has the time to hide away and set up. And there's 4 of them in the city right now. I think just every single day we've been getting a little bit of a taste of something they've planned out to try and get rid of us, ever since they knew of us being here.
I'll also say they would never act as boldly to send all of them, not only with wanting to save face, but make such a bold move like that, have several people of high power concentrated like that. Especially together, I mean, it links them all, and if they were, as you said, to go after Dorian, then, well, nothing will draw attention to you like taking out the light bearer. Immediately raises questions. If they want chaos, well, they're not going to cause that. They're going to cause a targeting at whoever the fuck's shooting the light bearer.
I'm not completely convinced, but I'll hold my objections for now.
Regardless, we know, we have seen that when we're in a place of visibility, even barely visible, like the severed toes, we've been able to be targeted.
The city must have plumbing. Are there aqueducts or
I
sewer
was
systems?
actually, yeah, I was thinking something like that too. I mean, I think we're in the right place for people who would know how to travel throughout this city without being up ground. And everything's connected, right? Like, I never really, delved into that side when I was at Belka, but like, it's not like I was dumb, like, clearly cities have an underground like system. There's no way that they don't. And I feel like there might be some people here who can help us with that.
I think if anything, it just makes the meeting of Londor more pressing. But how exactly we're going to get to that now?
I may have an idea. Cecily, Suni, you can read the thief writing, can't you?
Yeah,
Little bit. Think he's better than me.
I know I'm better than you, but that's beside the point.
Well, now I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Well, if there's any organization to the thieves and beggars and, well, gentry of the city, and they would mark entrances and exits to hidden tunnels, passageways, entrances to sewers, aqueducts.
I'd love to go out and take a peek. I mean, just around. I don't know what. The symbols are a little bit different, kind of like almost accents from city to city, but I can see what I can do.
Also say if we can get a message out to Londor, again, he would be the one that'd be able to help with that, if anything. I'm not sure if he would be the most keen on it, but if we are able to suggest that he comes and meet us here rather than at Little Pine, that might be the best shot that we have. Because the meeting's going to be whereabouts in Little Pine, I think it is, and it's not going to be the most out in the open, but in terms of getting there, well, I think getting to the furnace was struggle enough. To go out and then come back again would be, well, not sure if we'll all be so lucky.
Well, we can find somebody to send the message to Londor to get him to meet Cecily and you here, while Suni kind of studies around and maybe does a little bit of his own research and sees what kind of underground paths we can find so that, when we do have to leave inevitably, we know how to leave maybe a little bit quieter and safer.
How's Londor gonna take to us moving the location? I already don't know how much he trusts us.
Well, we just gotta hope that he's interested in the conversation for his own means. I mean, he was the one that wanted it in the first place, and well, with everything that's been happening recently,
Yes.
especially today, hopefully he'll take interest enough. He thinks that perhaps we might have something to do with it.
I don't
By the
think
way,
he
it's
is.
the best thing we have. Interest may be one thing, but if we can offer perhaps a bit of security, a bit of gold, might help persuade him a little bit as well. We just need to show that we're worth his time.
Cameron,
Plus,
what
I'm
were you
sure
gonna say?
that's
Sorry, sorry.
one of the places that we think was safe. I'm
Cam-
sorry, I'll stop.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
it's
You just cut Cameron off like 3 times. And then and then you would pause, and then I felt like Cameron was like, I want to say something, and then you would start talking again. Just wanted Cameron to get out what he was trying to say.
Thank you for having my back, Joe. It's all right though. I understand. Suni was just gonna say, Suni would just say that I've dealt with, I mean, not him obviously, but these types of people. He doesn't really have anything to lose by changing the location. He's probably as safe as anybody in the city is.
That's true.
But you need to make sure that he has something that he's wanting to gain out of it. Those types of people, they're only going to talk if they think they have something that they can gain.
Right. So, given recent events, what am I gonna give to him that's gonna make him give us what we need?
Promise that the city won't come under siege.
That's
Let me
pretty
tell
good.
you, as soon as war starts, the first people to suffer are going to be the beggars and the homeless. And that's something Londor's going to care about.
Information is always valuable to those types as well. I don't know what we feel comfortable letting anybody, let alone a stranger, know.
We should be prepared for something even more. The beggars and homeless will suffer the most, yes. The ones who will profit the most are thieves. Smugglers.
It's true.
Since Londor is someone that deals with information, he can obviously take what he needs, but that's not his prime motive. It's not gaining wealth or anything, it seems. And so I think hopefully it won't be too much of a worry. And plus, if we offer that we have information, that it's integral, and that it involves recent events, sure, that could be enough of a draw. And then again, sweeten the deal with a bit of gold.
And what secrets do we want to trade? If there's anything that, I mean, I don't know if there's anything that we have other than information. And if he's not really after gold, you say.
I don't
Play
know
it by
what I
ear.
know
He
that
takes
would interest
gold.
him.
When Morn and I had to work with him before, he was paid in gold. It is certainly something he trades in, because gold's useful for everyone, is it not?
True.
And in terms of what secrets we want to give away, I think that's honestly going to depend on what the conversation happens to be. See how much he knows, see how much we're willing to give up.
We'll just
Can't
have
really
to go in with
pre-plan these
caution.
things. Exactly.
It's going to be like bartering, but I'm sure you're one hell of a barterer, Caracilla.
Oh well. I've had experience.
I caught the joke.
Anyway. First step
Alright.
is finding someone that can deliver the message.
Should we ask Thrash to find someone he trusts?
Can't promise that he'll want to get involved in whatever this is any further, but no harm in asking.
Well, we could always ask one of the other people. Jeff.
Classic Jeff.
What about
Yeah.
Well,
our
there's someone here that would be willing
repetitive-
to do it.
our repetitive friend? I don't know if that would go very well. But
No. No.
I don't know how much we can count on the bird for. Also, he might repeat anything we say to anybody, and I don't know about.
No, we'll go to Thrash first if he has no one that he can send out himself. Then I suppose we can just ask at the top side of the tavern.
Right. Well, more importantly, and she'll catch all three of the juggling balls. I am calm now. And she'll kind of get up and do a little bit of a stretch. What's one more near-death experience?
Hey Joe.
Yeah. What's up?
Is there anybody who Suni would know based off of both just the people he has in his social circle and the criminal background, criminal contact feat that he knows from the Giant's Palm who would have been in Bella or in the city at this point, in Bromsgrove at this point? I don't know if that would. Is there I don't know if there's anybody who would have been traveling to do a job or something.
Make. There's a chance. Roll a D100 for me.
Okay. Did they roll?
57. Okay.
Oh, there they are. Nice.
Yep.
Quick that time.
Yeah, I think it's just whenever you're rolling from a character sheet, then it kind of has a little hang up, but
That makes sense. Well, actually, I don't know if that makes sense. So,
okay. So I would say that you probably would, in all honesty, know that there's a chance that they would have arrived within the past maybe day or two. You're not exactly sure if they would have arrived on time, but you do know that there was a certain individual from Desmond's past that there's a pretty good chance that they would be here, which would be Nicola.
okay.
They might be here at this point, so you could maybe ask around, and I mean, they get around enough, they talk enough where you can probably he stands out enough that if he is here, you should be able to find him pretty easy.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay. Alrighty.
okay. Suni, do you need any help looking for those symbols? I can help try and find some, and then you can decipher them maybe.
I honestly feel like the less people who are out and about is the better.
That's fair. All right. Well, then I will stay here.
When you guys see Thrash, ask him about if he's heard of a half-orc man, Nicola, coming into the city recently. He might be here. I'm not sure. But he might be helpful in, I don't know, a lot of ways, honestly.
Okay.
Alrighty. So with that, we have Suni, who's going out to investigate certain things, see if he can find any thieves' cant markings in the immediate area while still sort of staying away from any danger. And then having some communication with Thrash or somebody else to try and pull in Londor here.
Yep.
Okie dokie. Alrighty. So, we'll say, Desmond, just right off the, or Desmond, wow, sorry.
That's all right.
Now that your past is coming up, Suni, let's just go ahead and have you roll a stealth check just real quick, just as you're leaving, just to see how, under the radar you stay. Who's going to talk to either Thrash or, Jeff?
Wait, can we have taken a short rest before?
Oh, in
breaking
that
off into
time.
this?
Yeah, if you'd like to roll some hit die or regain your
Hell
short
yeah.
rest features, yep.
Okay.
Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum.
What was your other question, Joe?
Oh, who was going to go talk to somebody about sending a message to Londor?
I assumed that was Carousel and Cecily.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if more would come along if we're talking to Thrash, but yeah.
Nah, Carousel knows Thrash well enough that she's not going to have much to provide there. She's just going to stay in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, Cecily can join for Londor related things, just since she was the one who got that started.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Sounds good to me.
Sorry, I'm trying to work on this still.
You're fine. So 13 plus, what is it, 8?
8, yeah.
21? Okay. Got it. Got it. So, with a 21, you head off into the immediate sort of slums area of the city, looking for things. So on top of that, go ahead and make an investigation check, and we'll come back to you in a second.
Okay.
So an 8...
8 plus 2.
Let's do 10. Okay. All right. So we'll come back to you in a second. So, Carasilla, Cecily, as you head to Thrash to send that message, are you just asking him to send something to Londor?
Yeah, like, I don't know if he knows him, but, like, yeah, just see if he can either... I don't imagine it's he himself, but, like, if he's got someone that he trusts that can send a message, just send it to say that we want to have a conversation about potential information.
Okay.
I don't know if Cecily wants to drop in the name that she was originally meant to meet him with or anything.
Yeah, Aravel is the original name. So, for all intents and purposes, she will say that she's going to maintain that name.
Okay.
Until there's a reason to kind of just drop the act and be real with the guy.
Got it. Okay, so for the sake of brevity, those two things combined, what eventually you do discover is Suni, while you're out and about, luckily your stealth check is good enough that you don't run into any issues with any Children of the Flame, any golden shields, anything like that. The one thing that you do over here, just slightly, is as you're moving around with that investigation check, you do hear what sounds like two Children of the Flame currently talking as they're going throughout their patrol. It's just sort of the tail end of a conversation that you hear about how one of the senior kindled had been murdered, and how there is suspicion that it would have been the Golden Shields. But they're also concerned because there was a Dragonborn who was working with that senior kindled. And they kind of went into this fit of rage, almost. And they killed the Golden Shields who were responsible, but they haven't been seen since. So you catch the tail end of that conversation, which is a little odd, but doesn't seem directly related to anything that you're doing immediately, so you keep moving. And you do find a couple of areas marked with Children of the Flame symbols. Not Children of the Flame symbols, sorry, with Thieves' Cant. And you can tell that some of them seem to be like more colloquial phrasing of different things for like titles or domains or districts related to these sort of shady underground places. But you do find one that seems to be the thieves' cant symbol near a sewer that seems to be like a manhole cover that just can kind of pop off, especially if you swung your tiger hook swords in there, you could easily pop it off. That pretty much in thieves' cant says "Welcome to all who are lost."
Oh, hell yeah.
And so you do find that one with a tent, and you know exactly where that is. You know the safest way to get there. And as you get back after your routine investigation, as you get back, eventually Thrash does return with a message for Cecily, and Carasilla pretty much informing that Londor will not be coming here. Because especially after hearing what happened earlier, he does not want to leave the safety of his place. But what he said is that there is a way to get to him from the sewer system. All they need to do is find the grate that is marked "Welcome to all of those who are lost." So, receiving that information, Suni, having the information you have available, you know exactly where that is and the safest way to get there.
So when Suni hears that, he'll be like, "For fucking once, we catch a break. I just found this place. That's great."
Oh man, I love a short mystery. All right.
Me too.
There's nothing better than a plan coming together.
Well then, do we want all of us going to Londor, or do we want the same plan of some of us so it's not an overwhelming situation? Just don't know how we feel with recent events. I mean, I trust the sewer thing just because at least we won't be out and about. Seems pretty trustworthy.
Hey, twins, how safe would you say it is to just sort of hang out in the sewer while your friends are talking to the Beggar King? You know, just as like backup.
How insulted
I
should I be
say-
that you feel like I would know that answer?
I mean, I know where my shit goes.
Look, I will say, don't have exactly the most experience, but I think where we're going is where Londor operates. It's his own domain. It's going to be where he feels safest. If we do want to grow as a group, that could potentially not be a too terrible idea, at least better than it would be if we were just doing it at Little Pine. But the idea of having people skulking around outside might put a bit more suspicion on our backs.
True. Best to be honest with our numbers.
I personally think it would be fine if some of us went and some of us stayed. Kind of like keeping eyes and ears out, maybe here at our home base as well, just so that we're not, losing track of anything while all of us are out. And Carasilla, you can always send us a message if you guys need help. And then we can be there as soon as we can. Does that sound good?
Certainly the best we have to work with.
Yeah, it's alright with me. I mean, the worst I expect is for him to say no. I don't think there'll be a problem, but I guess we'll see.
All right. Who would like to stay? Who would like to go? I feel like Suni should maybe join you guys so he can read the symbols, right?
That
Probably
would
would be a
certainly
good idea.
help.
So you guys don't get lost.
Well, and he wants to meet me, so guess I'm going. Carasilla, you talk, so
I
be
do.
a good idea to have you. Ashima,
I'll go
I
along as
seem
well.
to remember. Well, okay, looks like we could just all go. Because Ashima, I was gonna say, I seem to remember you stopping Selrid and Suni from lighting a bomb that one time. So, just feel like
Loshari monks are known for their mediation. We are impartial to wealth. Also, I'm 100% sure that he clocked me following you beforehand.
Well, in that case, I wouldn't mind having Ashima too. Just in case there's any bomb defusing that needs to happen at any point, given all the tension.
Okay, and I will remain here then.
Between us. Yeah, I would also say it's probably a good idea for someone to remain if Dorian does end up thinking that this is involving us and knows that we're at Furnace, then wouldn't want us to be suddenly gone if he does end up sending any follow-up there.
Yeah, we can hold it down here. That's no problem.
Right. Well, I think we might have a bit of time to rest up, I suppose, before we have to meet.
Already on it. And she's just immediately laying down.
So during the period where you would be taking your short rest, recovering those hit die, after receiving your instructions for where you can go, that hour does pass. So now currently around 8:30. So your leave would be imminent. You can hear a knock at the door.
I am coming from the Tower of Nibir Taman with direct word from Lightbearer Dorian Almer.
Morwen opens the door.
You can see what looks to be a younger human man, probably in his 20s. He's accepted, where he just got his cloak. That's just sort of the edges trimmed with the singe.
Sorry. Hello. Dorian sent me because he wanted to draw the least amount of attention to this place, so he tried to send someone who, if there were any suspicious activity, that no one would be paying too much attention.
Breathe, friend. Breathe.
Is it true?
You're among friends.
I heard that it was Parido. Is it true?
Yes.
There's no sense in hiding the truth there.
Those soldiers, the ones who died, I was brought up with them. We all took the oaths together.
I'm sorry.
Zuni was feeling suspicious of this guy, but now feels horrible since he, kind of watched his friends die.
We still have to kill him, it's okay.
Jesus.
He knows where we were.
Anyway, I brought word from Dorian. Sadly, there's not much assistance he can give, as, well, sadly this attack from Parido wasn't the only one that happened. Seems as though that in other places in the city, there have been similar disturbances. Most of them by the Tsar and the Imperator, and the Golden Shields have been marked up to gang activity. In fact, shortly after my friends died, there were Golden Shields that arrived on the scene and immediately were blamed for the attack, saying the shots came from one of the Golden Shield's riflemen, which they are renowned for.
What's your name, son?
You see him kind of breathe. Elric is my name.
Elric. Much has happened. But much more is going to happen if we're not able to stop this. So I know it's hard, but I need you to do your best. Breathe and tell us everything that Dorian told you to say. Can you do that for me?
Again.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
He wanted me to inform you that, for one, this evening is when Draven Hunt will be sent south towards Iverion in his new placement. He'll be sent away with a moderate amount of soldiers and given a promotion. Given soldiers and a promotion in order to keep him away from the people of the city. There will still be 2 of his soldiers that he trusts that will be at the ball tomorrow, but only 2. He wanted me to give you these, and you see him kind of take off a satchel that he has at his side, and he begins to take out, like, what looks to be some type of shiftweave-like material, sort of wrapped around an amulet. Any of those who are guards, or who will be guarding at the ball, will be wearing these, and these will shift whatever their armor is to match whatever they need, to look as though they are children of the flame and to have that authority. The other attacks. Yes, the other attacks. There was a brutal massacre at another inn near the port. 15 or 16 dead. Slaughtered. Their bodies were left carved with the symbol of the soul hoarders. The soulmongers. But the thing is, all of their bodies were affected or cut or stabbed in different ways, different lacerations, whether it be from an axe or a sword or a bow or a warhammer. All of them were different, which, if it matches the stories, we believe that to be Clementine, but once again, chalked up to more gang violence. Then,
what the name of the tavern was?
The Leaky Tankard, I believe. Then there was another one. This was near the academy. There was a caravan that was delivering tomes that had been shipped from Thrall to the SARS Academy, to the library. It was ambushed. There were several explosions. And only a select few books were taken after a inventory check was done. Most of them were related to any type of architectural plans of different cities, from Thrall and even some belonging to Bromsgrove. That was chucked up to the Beggars Legion, saying that perhaps they might be sending other beggars elsewhere in the world to better expand their network. But the beggars, while there are some artificers that find themselves allied with them, this magic seemed to be pulled directly from other planes of existence. We believe that to be Cassius. And then there, of course, was the gunfire that was with all of you, which is assumed to be Parido, and then finally there was something else. Something entirely different. There was a drow man who was found strung up in an alleyway. Paralyzed, I suppose, but webbed up entirely. He was unconscious, I suppose. He was beat so badly that the Children of the Flame, they took him down, or they took him down from the webbing, and they healed him, and he seemed to have some type of memory issue happening. He couldn't remember anything that happened. So they took him, and they put him in a containment cell in the Children of the Flame headquarters. until something could be figured out with him, what was happening, who attacked him. But considering the webbing and her affinity for drow men, we assume that to be Malice.
Understood. Well, thank you for this. Not sure if there was anything else you had.
What? So you're saying they were able to pin a lot of these on other gangs?
Except the webbing. That's the only thing that is out of the blue, but there have been echoes throughout the city that Duragar and Deep Gnomes and Drow have been making their way out from the mountain, trying to escape the Underdark, and that there may be collections of them that are forming together to either spread the fear of loss, a cult of some sorts, or some say that they're just trying to establish that they're not to be trifled with. And that's true, there are people immigrating, but for the most part, they're almost all entirely peaceful, just trying to escape the dangers of the Underdark. They're not trying to hurt anyone, but of course it's being pinned on them.
I think I get
Also,
it
because
then.
it's understood that it's not truly them, though. Seems to be the case, right? At least Children of the Flame know. And
Yes,
well,
they
Dorian knows.
yes, they believe that it is Malice.
But Ashima, I think you might have been onto something. When you're getting ready to steal something from the headmaster's office, you make sure that you distract them as much as you possibly can. Kind of sounds to me like the 13 are just making the guards spread out.
Killing us was irrelevant.
Yeah. Pressure on the Golden Shields. Pressure on those Soulmonger people. On the Dwarf people. I kind of missed what you said there, but it doesn't matter. They're just spreading out focus for tomorrow.
Which is why it's probably a good thing that we know not to be too distracted. I mean, obviously these attacks were somewhat targeted, but I think our focus should really still lie with what's happening tomorrow evening.
Fair point.
Oops, sorry, Malice was just talking to me. She had some things she wanted to let me know. Is there anything? Was there anything that I that my headphones off?
Not really, I don't think.
No, it's just us theorizing and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, Cecily said something real street smart, but that's about it.
Oh, hell yeah. Street smart. What
Street
dumb
smart.
people tell themselves to make themselves feel better.
Hey! I
That is
wasn't educated, okay?
That was a quote from Futurama. That's not what I believe.
Okay.
Are we like about to say goodbye to the young Children of the Flame member?
Yeah, and it seems like the kind of vibe that you're getting is there's this is all Dorian can offer right now. He can't really do anything else aside from get you into the ball.
I just didn't want to, because I have a little bit of a closing thing.
Yeah,
for
sure.
him.
So he will finish and say, I think that's everything that I had from Dorian.
I mean, if Bianca wants to do something closing, then I'll do something first.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that. I'm like, I'm gonna do something that's like, and goodbye. So I didn't want to like cut anyone off.
I don't know what your intentions are, but Carousel will obviously, since this guy's so shaken, has seen his friends die. She will just move over. She doesn't know who this kid is, but she doesn't care. She's gonna just give him a hug anyways. Just remember you're not alone in all this, right?
Never alone.
There's a lot of tough times ahead. But you're stronger and braver than you think.
Thank you. With the light outside, I am never alone. And with allies like all of you, I'll never abandon hope.
It's good to see that you've got a good mind on you. It'll take you far.
Bianca will then, after that, bring over the candle she lit for each of the members of the Children of the Flame that died today. And she'll bring it over to him and say, I have the gift to help people move on after death. But I did not know these people well. It seems like you did. And before I blow out these candles, I didn't know if you wanted to say a couple words to them to let them know it's okay, that they can be at peace now.
And you can definitely see, like, the thought of that. He's at a loss for words.
Or if you have nothing to say, that's fine.
I would like to. Do I just speak? Sorry.
Close your eyes and remember. And that's something that you'll never lose, is their memories. So just take a moment and remember them and the life that you had with them. And just be grateful for that moment, even if it was short. And then if it comes to you, feel free to say something. They'll hear it.
Okay. And you can see him kind of close his eyes, nod his head. For Bren, I hope that now you embraced the light and have found peace. You were always my favorite drinking companion. I'll miss you. To Garth, I hope that you have found peace in the light. I'll always appreciate and remember the time you took to train me to teach me how to properly use a shield. I know it'll save my life. To Vernon, I hope you find peace in the light. I know that your father would be proud of you. He has so many reasons to be, same as me. Arola, I hope that you find peace in the light. And I'm sorry I never told you the way that I felt about you.
Bianca will then take his hand and say, I think they're ready now. Are you ready?
He kind of takes a shaky breath and nods.
She will then, after that, blow out the candles and kind of just watch the smoke rise as it dissipates. I know it was small and that they deserve so much more. But it really does matter what you said. You made a difference.
And he'll just immediately kind of like hug you.
Thank you.
She'll hug him back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And he'll kind of pull back and rub his eyes. And breathe and
Thank you all for your service and for your bravery. May you walk in the light, and may you blaze a bright enough path for the rest of us.
and with that he'll kind of put his fist to his chest, the opposite side of his heart, and take a small bow. Exhale, and then, provided there's nothing else, he will head back.
Yeah, I don't have anything else after that.
After he has left, Cecily will take a very deep breath and say, I think that's my least favorite part of the job.
I think what you did for him, Bianca, was worth so much. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Like I said, they deserved more. I'm glad he was here to help.
I suppose I can only hope that he doesn't find himself on the shore of Donors.
Bianca will just like nod at that, taking a very big deep breath in. But can't look at Carousel when she says that.
At any rate, we still have business to attend to. Well, if this serves nothing else, it's to prove how important that is.
Four of you, just be careful out there.
Send the message if anything even starts to tilt towards south.
Mhm.
But I guess if the rest of you are ready to go.
Still calm. I'm ready.
I'll also just say I think it's best that we treat Londor as an ally. At least until we have any reason to be suspicious of him. After all, he has helped Children of the Flame in the past. And, of course, it's going to be, hopefully, an exchange of knowledge. But I think it's also safe to assume that we can't exactly outsmart him in this. I think it's safe to assume that if we ever get anything out of him, he's gotten 3 times as much out of us. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. If he is truly an ally, if he does truly want to keep the beggars and likes of the city safe, well then, in all honesty, we have the same interests, same goals, and we can work together.
I think that's a good mindset to have going into it. You guys are smart. I'm not worried.
If we come to him honestly, then hopefully he should do the same. But
Beggar
at any
knows a
rate,
beggar.
let's go there.
So then, as the four of you make your way out of the room and into the sort of fighting pit area, Bianca and Morwen staying behind, as the four of you do exit out there, you can see Thrash kind of pacing about, sort of obviously him being who he is, a lot of information comes around him, especially being in a shady part of town. And he sees the four of you walk out, and he kind of moves over towards you and motions for you to hold up for just a moment and says,
Now, wait. Where are the other two?
They are safe in the room.
Well, then where are the four of you going if it's safe in there?
We have a meeting to get to. It's gonna be safe. It's gonna be underground.
Oh, underground. It's gonna be safe. Listen, I'm not saying I don't trust Londor. You know how he became Beggar King? Story might have eluded you in your time of holiness at that tower. He might run a clean operation now, but he was as dirty as ever getting to the top. I'm not saying you shouldn't trust him. Just saying caution might be a good idea. So if you're going into those sewers and they're staying here, if you call for help, probably going to take them 10-15 minutes to get to you. You can do what you want. I just don't know if I would trust Londor that much.
I mean, he might have had dirt on his way to the top, but how about sense? Have you heard of any more recent dealings that have been a bit more less than above table with him?
Recently, he does keep his nose fairly clean, but considering what happened to the 6 of you earlier today, I'm assuming there might be a pretty price on your head. To the right buyer, that is. Just saying. I mean, he may have a sewer full of hundreds of beggars. But it might be the two of them that makes the difference between you getting out and you not. But he's gonna feel perfectly safe with 6 people in there as opposed to 4.
Well, I
But-
suppose our reason of keeping people here for the Children of the Flame is no longer relevant. So I guess we might have to take you up on your advice.
Like I
Never
said-
want to shy away from it anyways.
It's your choice. Just depends how risky you want to play it.
Think I've had enough of risks for today.
As long as we're sure that we're not going to miss anything here, I guess I'll take it.
Well, I guess, Thrash, you know that if anything does come our way, hopefully keep it. If not, trust that you're not going to sell us out, so if there's anything informational of the sorts, I trust you to keep it.
Of course. Listen, if I'm being entirely honest, the lot of you are a lot more valuable to me alive than dead. And also,
Yeah.
if I'm being entirely honest, don't tell anybody else that said this, but I at least like you a little bit. So I'd like to keep you around.
Well, I'd like to stay around. Imagine their rooms aren't that far, so Carousel would just pop a message to
Yeah.
people down in the rooms. Plans have changed. Come on up with us.
You ready, Mormon? Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go.
I like to imagine they both just sat down.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we got the night off, guys.
Yeah. we
Mor-
get
Mormon's like
relax.
just unfolded a blanket to lay down.
But kind of noticing Mormon's energy, she will ask us on their way up, "You okay?"
Nope.
Sorry, you're a little quiet. Did you say no?
No.
Anything you want to handle now, or is that something later?
No time. Just keeps walking.
And she will follow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. It was just that
I know. I
Felicity
like.
said,
It was
"Did you?"
It was kind of meant to be funny. So no,
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
good.
Okay. Did you say no? No. Oh,
We love drama.
Morwen's anger is cutting through the meta. Oh no.
Yeah.
No. She's fine.
And I'm
Okay, clearly we
fine.
can
I'm
tell.
fine. I'm
She's
fine.
totally fine.
Okay.
Textbook healthy emotions. That's what I do.
Oh, I will also say, just before they do head out, Carousel will also just, after hearing all that, will just say, yeah, if you're not here for us for a couple of hours, maybe you said word to Dorian. Just, give an update there.
Yeah. So that way, at least your bodies can be recovered. Totally.
Well, keep him in the loop, You know how it is.
Yeah. No, I get you.
You gotta let
Maybe
your boss
we'll
know
be
you're taking 6
captured
days.
instead of killed, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe he'll hold us for ransom, and then we'll have to prison escape. Part
Again.
2.
Hell yeah.
The campaign will end the same way it started.
Rolling around as the speed of sound. Get
Exactly
it?
how this campaign started.
Because he's escaping from. Remember at the beginning of that
Anyway,
game
we're
when
out
Sonic
Okay, let's go down
murders
the
humans?
whole.
Let's go.
Remember when we have to escape from the city?
Let's go indeed. Okay, so all of you then make your way following Suni's instruction and following it clearly. You make your way out of the furnace and towards the manhole cover that Suni had found that will lead you deeper into the sewers underneath the city of Brahmsgrove. So I would like each one of you to make a stealth check with advantage. It's not a very far distance, and it's also night, but you're still running into the issue when you're going out when you don't want to be seen at all. So sadly, this isn't something you can sprint through, Morwen.
Yeah. 14.
Okay.
17.
17.
You said with advantage, right?
Yeah, so it's still 16, 22, 17, Bianca.
Carousel.
16 for
Mhm.
16 for Kara.
Yeah.
Ooh, 8, but with advantage.
Yay. Thank you. You are kind. It's gonna be lower.
It was higher. Okay. And then for Morwen,
I got a 14.
13. Okay. So with that, all of you make your way throughout the streets, the alleys, dipping and dodging to the best of your ability. And as far as you can tell, it doesn't seem like anybody has noticed you. So you make your way to the manhole cover, Suni. You pop it open, and there's a ladder where you can all climb down.
Suni will keep watch while everyone's climbing down until everyone's gone, just to make sure no one's taking any peeks at them.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check for any peeping Tom. Sorry.
Oh my god.
14.
You had to.
You used the peep. Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say peeping Tom, and then I chose not to.
It's
but
okay. We have that mental
No.
bond,
It's
Cameron.
all right.
So with a 14, you do not see any bird-shaped yellow Easter candy anywhere nearby. No peeps.
Sweet.
All right.
Wow.
Literally.
Yep, and figuratively. As far as you
Solid
can
marshmallow reference.
As far as you can tell, it doesn't seem like anybody's watching you. It seems like in this this part of the city, after a certain time of night, people just kind of shut their shutters and hope. If they didn't see it, it didn't happen. And even if they saw it, still didn't happen, you know?
And he starts screaming before he enters the manhole cover.
So with that, all of you hear Suni scream as he heads down the ladder. All right.
Wonderful.
And then immediately you underscream. Because Suni said /S. And everybody's like, oh, okay. All right.
Bro, it was ironic.
The dog goes, sick joke, bro. All right. So with that, all of you do make your way deeper down into the sewers of Brahmsgrove. And immediately you can tell that this is a city with millions of people, because this smells like shit. It smells so bad as you enter into the sewers of Brahmsgrove.
That's a lot of shit.
No
A
shit.
lot of shit. A lot of water. And you can see every once in a while as you're making your way throughout the sewer that there are these extra chunky rats that are kind of like skewing past in different areas. They are large individuals. And every once in a while you see what look to be out of the corner of your eye a few creatures that are like bipedal and just kind of immediately diving into this sort of muck and guck and swamp water, the sewer water, and swim away from whatever direction you're going. Okay. So you make your way in. You can see that. You can hear the water rushing and smell. It is overwhelming. All of you kind of take different pieces of cloth or whatever you have covering your mouth to try and dull that smell at least a little bit. And following the instructions that were given to you, you do make your way towards where Londo would be. So easy enough.
You good there?
Yes, I'm good. I just had a student message me, and they were like, they asked me if I could write them a letter of recommendation in the next hour or two. The thing is, I've already...
Yeah, hi, kiddo.
Welcome, fam.
Welcome to the real world.
The thing is, I've already written them one letter of recommendation. I just use the same one. I don't know if I can, like, do I have to do a thing? Let me just, sorry. Since this is pressing and it's for scholarships, I don't want to...
In the next hour or two, buddy, it's 8:30.
Yeah. The one I wrote I can use. How do you need it? Also, I can't make any promises, but
I'm gonna read this out loud.
I will try.
Oh,
Too nice of a teacher. Okay, so all of you make your... I don't know why there's salt here. It's DM now.
You go through the sewers!
I hate this.
Rat things are
Where the
about.
fuck's Londor? Let's just go.
Ligma! That one was for John. Oh, that's not good. Okay, let me turn these off. Does that help a bit? Okay, yeah, there you go. That helps a little bit. Sorry, I've got some... I think I had an issue with my memory the other day, and I think right now it's like underclocking at the performance it's supposed to be. Like, it's like...
Oh, you mean your computer?
I also thought that.
Oh yeah, sorry. It also has something to do with the animated backgrounds that I was using, where it hasn't been an issue ever except for today, apparently.
Good.
I'll put the one on behind my head, and hopefully that's not too much. There you go. Some color. Okay, so all of you continue to make your way throughout the sewers, following the directions that were given to you by Thrash that will lead you to Londor. And eventually, following those instructions to a T, you curl around into what looks to be a more developed part of the sewer, where you can see that there are these sort of like walls of mud that are like erected in certain places that sort of like block off areas and prevent water flow. And you can see what looks to be lanterns set up in different areas on these small stone pathways on the edges. As you begin to make your way around, you can start to see people sort of like clinging to the shadow in these areas. And immediately they kind of like approach you, and they look you up and down, and without saying anything, they just sort of nod their head in one way, sort of as like a follow me.
Follow them on, I guess.
Did you say that these were the only people who were in this area, or there were quite a few and these people came up to us?
There are quite a few, and these two came up to you. So at this point, you've probably seen about 25 people as these two approach you.
Suni's gonna just, again, keep an eye out for Nicola, just in case he managed to be down here for whatever reason. I know it's a very small chance in a huge-ass city, if he's even here, but...
Okay. Yeah, so... go ahead and make a perception check for me, and we'll kind of see what happens, what breaks down from there.
I saw a natural 20
I saw
on
it.
my screen.
I saw a natural 22.
It was a natural 20?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Boy, 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 meow, meow.
That's fucking righteous, man.
He's still not there, but you really noticed that. He's there.
I clock every single face, and none of them.
Yeah, exactly. No. So as you're making your way in, you can see that you sort of round through all of these different areas as there's this large like stone door that is moved open. As all of you make your way in, you can see that it leads into what looks to be like a small bar almost, where there's like this much cleaner stone floor and wooden tables and chairs where there's different beggars sort of sitting and drinking and eating. There's like a bar top as people are serving drinks, and you begin to make your way through. And as you are, you can see there's an elevated area sort of made from wood, like a deck almost. And you can see in this corner, smoke hazing all over the place as you're being led. You can see what looks to be sort of the glint of jewelry against green skin, as you can hear the voice of an suave man say,
Now listen, friends. I'll have to admit I'm quite good at this game. I understand if you want to give up now and forfeit your money or save some time. But if not, we can play and you can lose it regardless.
As you'd recognize that without even seeing it, you can hear that shit-eating grin of Nikolai. Nicola. There we go.
Yeah, I know. I do the same thing. Every time I think about any of the characters in my backstory, I have to go back and look at the document where I wrote their names because I don't remember them.
Yeah.
Especially names.
I kept wanting to say, like, Nicolaj, like Jamie Lannister.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Suni's going to just kind of whisper to everybody, I found a contact. I will regroup with you guys in a little bit. Don't worry about me, though. And then he's just going to kind of slip away from them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And make his way over to where Nicola was sitting.
Okay, sounds good. So, you make your way over there, and we'll come back to you in a second. So, okay. Alrighty. So with that, the rest of you make your way throughout the sewers, and you make your way out of the bar top in that area through another doorway, and you can see where those two sort of large walls of mud and stone were. They were like blocking an area off that is very well illuminated, and you can see where there should be a passageway for sewage like to go. This thoroughfare, you can see that it's replaced with mostly stones, and a few of the stones glow this like deep green. And immediately in this area, it was faint in the other room, but you can feel this strong scent of like pine and these very like powerful earth smells that seem to be overwhelming the scent of manure and shit in this place. As you begin to make your way further in, until eventually you cross a small wooden bridge going over this gap of stone and magical rocks, making your way through a metal door. As you enter through that passageway, you do see sitting at a finely made desk wearing nicer clothes than what he was originally seen wearing when you first met him in the city streets, Cecily. But you can see Londor. Still, all of the tattoos visible on his arm, wearing a nice sort of sleeveless doublet and pants. It's not like he's putting on airs or trying to overdress, but it's something that is presentable and nice that you can see he must have put on since he knew he had a meeting. So as the 5 of you enter, you can see that it's just him in this office. No other beggars or individuals in here with him, just himself at his desk. He closes a small journal and sort of slides it off to his side and says,
Well, I'm very glad that you could make it. After hearing what happened earlier today, I wasn't quite sure what may happen. But needless to say, I'm happy that you're here.
Happy we're able to make it too.
So, I have done my part of the bargain. I've collected information over this event happening.
Well, what's our part then? What do you need?
Well, what I would like is if you happen to have any information related to a few things. Now, I'll let you know very clearly that this information was not easy to get. And I did lose several very good people in the process of getting it. But everything has its price. So, my question, what I'd like, is 2 things. For one, I'd like to know the details of what exactly happened today. Because you see, there are crimes that are being put onto my clan, my people. And that I will not stand for. I'd like to know the truth if you know it, which, considering your close proximity to the gunfire, they all happened so close, near one another, time-wise. Seems too convenient for them to not be connected. So if you know anything about that, I'd like to know. And the second thing that I'd like to know, which is entirely dependent on whether you get your information or not, I'd like to know what you want to do with this information about the heist. And I'd like you to be honest. Very honest. If I get the feeling that any one of you are lying to me, I have a few friends outside that door who have a way of encouraging truth. They are clerics, you see. Law bearers of Arathis. They wanted to help. Seemed to me the best way to do it. So, answer those 2 questions for me, and I will give you everything that I've learned.
Well, I'll start with this. You probably already know. I'm not exactly who I said I was when we first met. I think that performance would have worked on anybody else, but you clearly had 1,000 eyes watching me before we even spoke. But I do know what this is like. And I do stand with anybody who is living in a world where, through no fault of their own, they're not able to be fed. There's a lot of shit going on. My friends can probably explain it better than me. My little brain can only understand so much of it. But this heist that's gonna happen, if it does get pulled off, it's gonna fuck up a lot of things for a lot of people. And I think the people on the bottom, as they always are gonna be the people that get hit the first. And the worst. So I think people that were shooting towards us were trying to pin crimes on a bunch of other people. Spread out the attention so that tomorrow they can pull off the job. And we're trying to stop it. I assume you want more details, but that's where I'm starting.
It is very interesting, I'll give you that much. So, in order to create a diversion, so to speak, scatter the troops, it's very interesting. But I would like to know more.
I think it's also, I suppose, without really needing to be said, a lot of this involves very dangerous people. And, well, I think it's also worth saying that I think we're pretty much aware that, for your shooter at least, it was a singular person. The rest, admittedly, we have less knowledge on. We have been informed about where other attacks had taken place, but I imagine you already know that. As well as who's being pinned for who. And if it is worth anything, it is known that it wasn't, well, your lot or any of the others that were really behind it. At least known by the Children of the Flame. And perhaps that's not worth everything in the city. But can guarantee that there are others that know the truth.
All right. But then, one thing that you seem to be omitting is you have an idea of who this rifleman is, which probably means you have a name for this attacker.
I do. Not sure if you're familiar, how much you believe in stories, but was done by a certain Father Prider.
So, you're saying a priest did this?
Well, a priest perhaps once. Not so holy anymore. Rather, someone that's tied to, well, the darkest entity there is. Someone that wishes to see nothing more than destruction, death, and blood. Someone that will get it If, well, he is able to get what he wants. And that's being tied to the highest.
So, that still begs the question. You wish to stop said heist then?
Be ideal.
Well, very interesting. Now, one more question. I want you to know that I've been fairly satisfied with what has been said so far. I feel as though for the most part you're being honest. Maybe omitting details here and there, but I think I can fill in the rest. My one question, though, is those people that tend to cause trouble in town, whether it be for my people or just cause disturbances I like to keep track of. See, there was an incident happened maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a month now. There was a group of individuals who came from the Western Salamander. Came with a Goliath, with a group of children of the flame tried to attack them. But then there was another group that saved them. Very kind, valorous of them even. Those Western Salamander people left, headed for wherever. A few days, maybe a week later, 2 individuals, along with a ship and a crew, were sent away. They left. I keep a very close eye on the comings and goings of these ports. People of interest that I might have meetings with. It might be useful to me one day. Hundreds of thousands of beggars. And not one ever saw you or you. Pointing to you, Carasilla and Morwen. So tell me.
Well, surely you're aware that there are magical means of getting around.
Oh yes, I am aware, but you see, typically, and I mean no offense, those magical means for getting around, a lot of times they need to be grounded somewhere. Teleportation circles are common. So I'm going to ask you one more time how you arrived in the city. And I want you to be honest.
Oh, I am speaking honestly. We came through by magic. We used a stone of sorts that was able to teleport us here. And, well, here we are.
Go ahead and make a deception check, because while you are telling the truth, you are omitting truth from your statement.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, hell yeah, baby.
Ooh.
What is my deception modifier?
Ooh.
Okay, that's a 23.
23. Rolled a natural 19.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, he rolled a natural 19, not plus whatever his insight is.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's 30.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll just go cry in a corner. What's good with my 18?
Oh. Well. I suppose then that's the truth then. A stone teleported you right outside the city near the docks. Sandy shore. Not sure exactly, teleportation, I've heard, is not very kind on the stomach. I hope that everything was in the right place when you arrived. Your
Given his reasons.
soldiers, your ship, your crew, where are they then? And
Um,
I suppose you met these individuals along with you then, correct? So they came with you, but not your men, your crew?
no, they are still in Giant's Bridge.
Giant's Bridge. So then you're familiar with the Giant's Palm then, right?
I mean, I guess I would be then, right, Joe? Because, I mean, we were there, right?
Yeah, very, very briefly. I mean, honestly, you didn't really interact with them too much. You knew that they were the local thieves guild, but you didn't really do much with them aside from, a brief interaction here and there.
An awareness, yes. Haven't really gotten to know any of them, if that's what you're asking.
You haven't?
As far as I'm aware.
Oh. That's interesting. The only access to a teleportation circle to most people is through the Giant's hand, the Giant's palm. You see, the investors of Bella Clara do not like to share the wealth and power they have with the Children of the Flame, or with any foreigner for that matter. So, then tell me, how did you arrive here? This time, don't lie.
Giant's Bridge is the thing. And I tell you that honestly. We were there, that's where our troops are currently.
You might also ask Nicola.
Ah.
Carastilla is not familiar with Giant's Palm, but I am. Nicola will vouch for us, as will Desmond.
Very well. I'll call him in. Let's hear from him.
And he knocks on the desk and shouts, "Bring in Nicola from the Giant's Palm." And he'll just kind of lean back and look. And with that, we're going to cut to Suni. As Suni, you see the group fade into the smoke and exit out of this bar area. As you approach the table, and you can see there's a sort of look up towards your general direction. As you can see, this tattooed half-orc all up his neck, down his arms, wearing a loose white tunic, a long sort of glimmering necklace, and a cigarette in his hand. He sort of flicks it and tips it into the ashtray as he smiles and says,
Well, this is very interesting.
oh shit. He's not French. What the fuck?
Yes, there we go. It's very interesting. I thought the last time I saw someone like you, well, needless to say, I guess things have changed a little bit, have they not?
Well, you kind of have to. After you get run out of town by your family. You mind if I join this game?
Well, back home, you would always lose, so why not? I'm always interested in more money.
I don't think we're back home this time.
You can see a couple of the other beggars, they sort of eye each other and they like fold and get up and leave the table.
And Cerny will sit down.
Yes, well, I guess just like always, it's just the two of us.
And he'll sort of deal you into the card game that he's playing.
I always preferred it that way anyway.
Me too. So, what brings you all the way to Bromscraft? Last I heard you were in Water's Wake. Or Summer's Rest, was it? I always get the two mixed up.
Same here, but I found a new family. Been traveling all over, really.
Less backstabbers?
Yeah. Trustworthy people.
Hmm. Well, that is good to hear.
How's
You-
everything?
Well, you know, it is interesting, to say the least. Ran into some issues shortly after you left. Would not believe the headache it caused.
You know, if it's anything like the headache it caused me, I'm sure I can believe it.
Oh. Well. Guess you probably wouldn't heard then.
Heard what?
Freyla died.
No shit.
She was executed.
So are you running things now?
Sadly, no. I was
Oh,
booted out shortly afterwards.
Really?
Mhm.
I mean, other than Freyla, you were the best.
I appreciate that. But it seems as though Yang So didn't think so.
Never cared much for that asshole anyway. And I know that feeling is mutual.
You and me both. Uh-huh. So, what brings you to Bromsgrove then, huh? You said you found a new family. But why here? Why in the den of beggars?
Well, one of my friends has set up a meeting with Londor, trying to, I guess, swap information about the events of today and the events yet to come tomorrow. Do you know anything of it?
Kind of smiles. I think you and I might be here for the same reason.
That's good to know.
So, about for old times, you get that meeting with Landor. You put in a good word for me, huh? I've been here a couple of days now, still waiting for my meeting. You and your lot
Wow.
walk in, and they'll walk right. Well, let's see if you've gotten any better at these cards, huh?
Some kind of shuffle. And you know his tricks. He's definitely tucking cards in these like big poofy sleeves he has. He's kind of shuffling and rifling, trying to distract you, snapping his fingers, flipping a coin between his hands. He's like doing this one-handed riffle shuffle. And you continue to play a little bit until eventually you see a woman, sort of dirt and grime on her face, looks like maybe like oil stains, a leather apron, a belt full of tools, comes over to the table and says,
Here for Nicola. Londo wants to see you.
and he kind of looks to you, Suni, and says,
I guess good words travel fast.
Is will. Thank you very much, Desmond. I appreciate it greatly.
And he will just give a nod.
Well. Yeah. Why don't you come with me, huh? Seems like you missed your meeting. Best I can do is repay the favor.
Suppose that's true. And Suni will stand up and, I guess, wait for Nicola to take the lead and walk just slightly behind him, just watching him the entire time.
Okay, yeah. So you make your way behind Nikolai Nicola, behind Nicola, and you follow the same pathway that they did as you make your way across the bridge into this sort of passageway of smell goods, and you make your way back into the same room where everyone else is at, and you can see Landor sitting at the table as you and Nicola enter, and Landor smiles and says, "Ah, well, very good you could join us, and brought a friend with you, but if I recall, that was one of your friends, right?" Looking to
I'm a
the
likable guy.
So it would seem. So, Nikolai. It is Nicola. Ah, good. Anyway, question. These individuals here, do you recognize them? They said they had some bit of work with you. They were able to use the teleportation circle that the giant palm is in ownership of to travel here to Bromsgrove. And Nicola kind of looks over and nods his head and says, "Yes, that is entirely true. You see, Desmond here, him and I go very, very far back. We used to run jobs together back when he was in Giant's Bridge. Needless to say, he was somebody that I kept in contact with because he was one of the only people I worked with who wasn't a total asshole, you know. So, I work with
I
him.
can say the same about you, but alas, that's the business.
He kind of looks to you and smiles and nods.
You see, it's not always reciprocal feelings we have. But I work, and I work. I keep doing jobs. And when these individuals come to me and they say they need a quick out, they need to gather their resources and get to Bromsgrove, I say, hey, no problem. A friend of Desmond's is a friend of mine.
And he'll make a deception check. Oh, it's a 16 plus 7. Blondor will make an insight check. Oh, okay. Blondor studies him for a second and nods.
All right.
So,
Is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
looking to the rest of the group.
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Unless you're willing to listen to ancient holy truths.
I would say if your questions are answered, then we're ready for ours.
All right. I think that I have enough information on my end to address the problems that need addressing. So, you answer 2 of my questions, I will answer 2 of yours. I will spare no detail in it, unless I feel like it would be better answered in another question.
That is fair.
Well, suppose we need to pick our words carefully then.
And you did say that you had been gathering information about this heist, so we can ask knowing that there will be something to be received?
Yes.
Can I insight this? Check this guy.
Yeah, sure. Make an insight check.
I think he was just holding back the urge to say that's question 1.
18.
I think that's all that went on there.
18.
As far as you can tell, it seems though he's being honest.
Okay.
Well, perhaps if you don't mind, I understand you like having your forms of protection and we like ours. As we would fully agree to anything you do. Perhaps we can have our own measures to make sure you're telling the truth to us?
You know,
Now,
I didn't use that against you. I used that as a last resort.
Well,
I have to say he is correct, and we are his guests.
perhaps, but again, if you would like to
And if I say no?
ask questions again,
We
can
really
say
are
no.
not in a position to bargain.
You're more than welcome to say no. I'm
No.
simply asking before I do it. Fair enough. Well, I suppose if we're going on to questions then.
Very well. Ask away.
First of all, easiest to get out of the way. Who have you heard talking about this heist? And what exactly have they been arranging?
For the most part, it has been the Golden Shields. You see, they think they're being clever with their scouting division. And in all reality, they're not. It's a glorified thieves' guild. They currently have, I believe it's 5 individuals, senior members of these circles, that they believe are going to perform this heist. As far as I know, they already have their permits into the ball. The only thing that they're missing is, well, a way to get what they want out. So the Golden Shields are the ones who are most concerned about it. Other than that, there has been a woman, a dark elf woman, who's also been asking a fair amount of questions in darker circles. Strangely enough, this woman, one time it was seen that she was asking someone in question, I believe it was a soulmonger, a question. And well, she apparently didn't like the answer and didn't think anyone was paying attention. This devil one it was, I believe it was a bearded devil, she had these nails grow from her fingers, razor sharp, dug them into his neck, twisted, and then she ate it. The head, the body consumed it. She then transformed, shifted her form into thousands of small spiders, crawling into the sewer grates and away. I think that's enough information on that question.
Well, if I could perhaps ask for something additional.
A follow-up
You
question will
mentioned
be
that
another
there were-
question. Ask carefully.
Well, I think it's warranted enough. You mentioned 5 individuals. Do you have any description, names of them? Or just simply the fact that they are golden shields?
There are two that have been a little bit more cavalier in their attitudes. Two of them that are easily identifiable. One light blue and one purple tiefling. The light blue one wears gaudy jewelry, very fine clothes. And the lilac one, I suppose a lighter purple, wears leathers, much more attuned for stealth and sneaking. Last I heard, they were staying at the Seven Toes Inn.
Anything on the others?
Well, the others seem to be better at keeping a low profile. There is suspicion that one perhaps is an Aladrin and one is a Tabaxi, the fifth and final individual. Not entirely sure. They seem to have a knack for keeping their person on a much more incognito level.
I bet those two would know about the other three.
Certainly gives us a direction, at least. But surprised that the others are even able to escape your gaze, considering how much you seem to have seen about us.
Well, you see, there are those people who live their lives in the shadows. They try their best to stay out of the gaze of individuals like me, especially if they operate in those circles. I mean, no offense to you and your companions, but you came marching through this city like you were on a warpath. It's no surprise that you got found out by a rifleman in a tower, or by any other individuals that now know your presence here, because you definitely didn't try and keep your identity here a secret. A tip for next time, if you're going someplace where you know people don't like you, perhaps walk a little softer. Think things through a little more, maybe.
Oh.
If there's nothing else.
I think I have something. Not a question, but, well, something. Are you interested in seeing an end to this heist?
Considering the implications it has on the Salamander coast as a whole, yes, of course, I wouldn't like to see this heist. I would like to see this heist not happen.
Well, she'll look to the others. I think that makes you an ally. The question is how much you should and want to help. I
I
know
think if
we
we're gonna
don't
get into
want.
that conversation, we might want to perhaps level ourselves a little bit more.
The one thing I will extend to you in this moment, and you can reach out later if you'd like to pursue this. Should you be willing to pay I will allow you access throughout the undergrowth of the city. Any sewer, any aqueduct, anything that is under my control, I'll be more than happy to let you traverse through. I'll even give you a map to make your way through. If there is...
We would be more than grateful for that.
Good. So, how much gold do you have on you?
You looking for the party fund? Is that what I hear?
Yep.
Good.
Bianca will hand Carasilla a bag of 275 gold.
Right. Oh, we can certainly offer you a few hundred.
I said, how much do you have?
As a group, I am honestly unsure. We have 200 to our names collectively. Well, as a collective fund. I personally, more. And in all honesty, I'd certainly be willing to give anything I do have. After all, I want you to understand that preventing this heist is of utmost importance. I get the sense that you are aware of that, but even the lead up to it, I think it's already proved to be dangerous as shit. And in all honesty, if this is something that you want to, as I believe you should, then hopefully the payout from it not happening would cover any missing costs. After all, I can almost guarantee you that every piece of gold that you would have if this heist takes place and it happens would immediately be worthless as soon as it does. At least given the time. This heist is important to everything.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
That's just a 20.
Okay. You make a good point. I want half of what you have.
Half of what I have?
Half of what you all have.
Right.
So steal 50% off.
He's
Very
right.
grateful for it. And she'll chuck over half.
Okay. All right. Take that. And he'll open one of the drawers to the desk, and he pulls out what looks to be a very thin leather-bound journal of some kind, and he tosses it to you, Carasilla. And as you open it and thumb through the pages, you can see that there are different pathways and areas marked that have different arrows pointing to different areas. The arrows indicate different page numbers that you can kind of flip to for different parts of the sewer leading to different parts of the city, with general instructions of how to get to any important area of the city in about a quarter of the time that it would take you to get there normally. And remember, that is worth about 10 times as much as what's on this table right now. I don't want this heist to happen. So if I give you that, you stop that heist.
And so I believe it goes without me saying that if things don't go the way we wish, you know that immediately puts everyone here in danger, right?
As far as I
Trust
see,
you
this is
have
out of
plans.
my hands anymore.
I agree, but the outcomes. You are king of the beggars, right? Surely you must care for this community.
I care for this community, yes. And I'll do what I can to protect it, but There's so little I can do against a war. So how about you do your part, and I'll do mine? I'm not exactly sure what you're implying. I'll handle my own. You handle yours. Clear?
Gladly. I just want you
Good.
to be aware that shit's gonna go tits up if it does fall through.
You think
And
I
I
am
think-
child? You think I am young? I don't know what war looks like in a city, in a port. I appreciate your concern. But what is more important now is that you stop it from happening. And I don't think it's going to be stopped by you staying here.
Understood.
You can see that he stands up and he does say,
I would like it to be known that I appreciate you doing business with me. I do appreciate what you're going to do, and you have my full support in doing so. So thank you for that.
and with that, you can see him go around the table, and he's coming towards you, Carasilla, to, since you were doing a lot of the negotiating, to shake your hand, just as like a finalization of the deal. And as he goes around to you, he reaches his hand out for you. I'm assuming you shake his hand back.
Yeah, she would.
Okay, I'll shake it back. As the two of you are shaking hands, maybe 30, 50, 60 feet away from you, you can hear this boom as the earth around you kind of shakes, as there is this explosion some distance down the sewer, and you can see him sort of look around.
Wait, what's happening?
And you can see that he immediately runs towards this metal door that all of you had entered through, and he looks out through it, and there is this sort of flash of energy, this magical energy, this explosion as he shuts the door behind it, and you can see this metal door grow like white hot with energy and then eventually fade as he kind of burns and singes his hands. He says, "Oh, fuck! Ah, shit." And as all of you can now begin to hear fighting happening within the sewers, probably the different beggars and all of these people clinging back and forth, you can hear what sounds like gunfire. You can hear what sounds like these sort of war cries of these warriors, and you can also hear the whizzing of spells and magic firing off in different areas, as it sounds like there is an all-out battle happening outside that door. As Londor turns to you and says,
There's too many of them out there. If you head out and make your way all the way down, you should be able to find a sewer path. If you follow the map there, it will take you to someplace that is safe. But I don't think there's any fighting all of them off. If you go out that door and around, you should be able to find your way to safety. I'll try and buy you time.
As you can hear more heat being applied to that door as there's now rattling, people yelling outside. You can hear explosions, what would be maybe these like elemental grenades going off, people yelling and shouting and crying in pain as axes are slammed into them. The one thing that all of you clock in this moment is when you were attacked by Paraido, and when you had been anywhere near any of the other 13, you felt this sensation, this gut-wrenching pain or sickness. While you feel anxious right now, while you might feel a little nervous, that gut-wrenching pain isn't there. So either they are here and they're concealing that, or they're not. And you're not sure what you're more afraid of. If they're not here, then where could any one of those 4 of the 13 be? And with that, as the door is about ready to blow off from the magical energy being applied to it, as all of you get ready to run in different directions, headed towards where Londor told you to go, that is where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session.
God damn.
There you go.
Boom.
Boom!
Twice.
Boom!
Oh my god. We need to make
Boom!
Y'all, I know this is like priority E, but we got no money.
I
We
know.
can sort that out later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good though. 50%. I mean, that's like a fire sale. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
Man, I really liked Londor. He's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a little
I'm a
mean.
big fan of.
So I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of lawful evil that like is on your side right now.
Yeah.
You know, that's my like one of my favorite alignments.
Yeah, he's still the head of a very large thieves guild. So it's
Right.
while he's on the up and up and like he's not shady, but he's still like the head of a thieves guild. So it's like he's still kind of shady, you know. He doesn't have people like assassinated in back alleys.
Right. Well, that Londor reminds me of something the head writer of Pixar once said. Which this is a huge contrast because he said it about fucking Woody from Toy Story, but but he said a thing about characters that really has stuck with me. He said everybody's a good person when our conditions are met.
Damn.
And that's the vibe with Londor.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like he played dirty to get where he is, and now he's here. So now he's good. Now he's like lawful neutral, but. You know, his conditions are met. The second they're not, he'll, you know.
Yeah.
You are not a toy! or are, whatever the fuck, I messed up the quote, whatever, you know.
Anyway, that is a really good point though. Anyway, thank you for watching so much. If you are watching on Twitch, don't forget to follow. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Go check out the other stuff we got on the channel. If you're, I don't know, if you're just vibing out, thanks for vibing out. I appreciate you, whether it be on Twitch or YouTube. You're the best for making it all the way here to the end. And I agree, Mick Boy Doodle. I want more too, but that's gonna be a long part, this next part, because you guys have got quite the way to go to get to this exit. And Mark, it is a combat with a non-traditional end. I know how much you like those.
I do like those a lot. I really like the secondary objective combat. Come on, I really like those.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's stop making out with the mics.
All right. Well, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I am very happy. And so we'll see you on Friday for the Explorers of Ephera, on Saturday for the Isles of Iverion, which you like Draven Hunt, you want to see more of him? Come check out Saturday because he's there too. So be sure to check that out or see the continuation next Tuesday of the Adventures of the Salamander Coast. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time.